It's the fighter and the kid. Had to run it back, cause we back at it again. Yeah, we gon' keep it moving like it's never gonna end. When it was Brendan, when it was Bryan, when it was just talking to friends. We got the kid Callen on the left, with the fighter on the right. Ay, had to do it right, cause we coming at you live. Back with the team, had to keep it OG. Must see TV. Had to do it. Yes, we did, cause we back at it again. It's the fighter and the kid. Back at it again, it's the fighter and the kid. Back at it again, it's the fighter and the kid. It's the fighter and the kid.
This is really the fighter and the kid. We're out.
Come on, baby.
If you want to catch this for social,
not hype yet.
Keep it in that 9x16. It's very TikTok friendly. Okay.
Start
Instagram
rolling.
is,
Just get this shit.
I don't want to
Just
start a rumor.
Just go. Go. It doesn't
some
matter.
say-
Just roll.
You want me to slate my name? You want me to stand? 6'1". It is 6'1" still. You know why? Because I'm not beta, and I have a spine. My spine goes straight up towards the fucking moon.
Done shrimp?
No.
Done shrimp?
Shrimp.
We're recording.
Shrimp. What am I, a feature act in '98? Doesn't shrimp.
You're looking strong.
Thanks, man.
You-
But I
you
still have to
picked me
adjust
up.
the t-shirt. Like when you sit, you know how you sit?
Yeah, yeah.
And if the t-shirt's in the wrong spot,
Yeah, it's
a problem.
Then
Problem, because you never lose your body dysmorphia, and that's the most important thing. I'll never lose my body dysmorphia. He'll never lose his body dysmorphia.
Not never.
Look at that.
yeah.
There you go.
What's that?
Very happy
Sorry,
with
let me
that.
adjust.
Well, you picked
no,
me up.
It's not. There's no weights anymore.
But-
it's all about just staying flexible. The swimming.
Feeling good?
The heated Pilates.
No, I don't throw any weights around anymore.
Dane pulled up to us in his Jeep, saw us, so like hit the accelerator,
Peeled
and
out.
peeled out, got out of the
Burned
truck, and
rubber.
goes, "Let's go!" And then you grabbed me and lifted me off the ground.
Yeah,
with
and
ease.
I tried to put you into like a standing
69,
69.
yeah, it was
the one
cool.
where I pretty much control the guzzle.
Yeah.
Right?
You could have. Oh, I couldn't get it up, and I'd just be like such a beta. I'd be like,
You'd
I
have to
guess here
take
we
it.
go. Yeah. Well, it's
Have
Dane
you ever
Cook.
done that? That's
I've done it
you
once.
feel pretty good about yourself when you're in that standing 69
I've never
position.
That's
done
when you're super horny.
It seems exhausting.
It is exhausting. So that's why it's like you got to lock one leg out and then like lean against a mantle or something right there, and then you're pretty much just controlling the entire tempo of the ride at that point.
You put on knee braces. She's all those knee braces.
That's when you get a fucking good back workout.
Let's get a proper intro in here from you guys, just so
Dane
the
Cook.
fans,
Good.
so
Dane
the fans
Cook.
know what's going
The
on.
legend.
Pioneer.
Stop
Pioneer.
this.
Legend.
Still doing it at the highest level.
Still doing it.
Still doing it.
Somebody saw you the other day
Yeah.
and said the motherfucker is a flamethrower. I go, what do you think he is? What do you think he stopped being funny? Do you think he got like older and was
comic?
like, you know what? I'm just gonna dial it in. They were like, dude, he was so funny.
Oh, really? Somebody thought that I was going to be coming in doing like
Do you know what I mean? It's
Sinatra 88 or
Well,
something.
I got mad at them. I go. Wait a minute. Dane Cook was funny for 20 minutes. Oh, really? What? He's never done that. That must be such a mystery.
That's like
to
going
him.
to a Buccaneers game. You're like, man, Tom Brady can throw.
Yeah. Like,
Imagine
yeah.
getting to that point though in a comedy career, you could go out, you could just dial in a couple of lines and you'd be like, I'm going to hand it over to Scooty over here. And I'm just going to, and then you just sit and like sip something and somebody comes out and finishes and then you do an interlude and back into the next beginning piece of material.
that'd be good.
31 years slinging haha. And I got to tell you, I've never, and true talk here, permission to speak freely.
Please.
Permission.
I feel like I am dialed in and exuding and being introspective in a way I always hoped
Yep.
to get to,
Yep.
that I kind of thought I wasn't sure if it would happen. Being able to really, dig deep, go inward and share some of the fucking scary things, the trauma,
Yeah.
the capsizing moments.
You've had some.
But you can't get there until you've capsized. You can't get there until you've gone through the trauma.
That is true.
Right?
Do you feel like when you and I were talking at the Improv, do you feel like the younger generation, and I figured you knew it was going to come, but the appreciation, like the respect you have as like, now you're an OG, like, because you were like a pioneer, right? The MySpace and your marketing. I'm influenced by it. Schultz is influenced by it. Everybody is.
Kevin Hart.
And you were the first one to do it. Do you feel because anybody I talk to, especially if they have a marketing mind, everyone mentions Dane Cook. Dane Cook. And do you feel that respect?
I think what I feel, which I like more than the building blocks of whatever the tech was at the time, going, oh, you broke in through MySpace, or I think it was the fact that comedians, speaking of comedians specifically, are entrepreneurial, but we didn't really know how to use the other 23 hours of the day in a multi-hyphenated, aggressively wanting to be elected comedy president kind of way. And to see so many comics now, like be able to like, you know, tip the hat and go, oh, dude, you were one of the first people to really figure out, oh yeah, no, this is a full-time job. It's not just getting the laughs at night and hoping that resonates or word of mouth. It's what can I do all day long to try to bring people in
it's
full-time.
changed. The game has changed.
Yeah.
And
anybody
I know too,
in a good way,
especially
in a great way,
in a good way.
Yeah.
But anybody I know.
You guys talk amongst. I'm going to take
anybody I know around the water coolers gives Dane Cook credit.
Yeah.
Like even that time we did that set with Bill Burr at the Laugh Factory, we really popped in on there. We were talking to him, and you got brought up, and he was like, "Dude, when that motherfucker, I forgot you came up with all those. I always forget that you're a fucking Boston guy,
dude.
We were Burr, Patrice, Gary Gulman, Bobby Kelly, one back from Rogan. So we were following Rogan kind of around town and watching him like leather jacket, fucking like hair. Just hair, like
crush,
all attitude,
no tattoos.
But he had to, and we had to, because the pillars in Boston at the time were a bunch of monsters that didn't make it the Hollywood route. And they came back, and not only were they just masters of their craft, but they were salty. They were like, we're not letting any of these dudes up. You know, we're running the town.
Yes,
we're taking the cash. The bag is ours.
It was mean.
It could be.
Yes,
but
it could be.
But
yeah.
Burr said this, and he was talking about when you guys were coming up. You had some bit where it was like you're a T-Rex, or you'd walk on the tables. He's like, follow. Nobody want to follow.
Dude.
Patrice, me.
Listen
like,
to me.
In all
none
fairness,
of us.
who would want to follow that?
That's right. He goes,
No.
He goes, what the fuck you do? He's walking on the table.
I said,
then you got to reset the room. He's like,
I said this many times. There are two people I've never seen crush harder. Dane Cook, when you would do those Dublin shows.
Dublins.
And Rogan,
Dublin
when he
and
would do that
Dublins.
Two Tigers Fucking. I have never seen, and I've done some stuff, I've never seen anybody
years.
do that shit.
Maybe Charlie Chaplin.
Dude, when he would, you know, he got me back into comedy. So when I saw him,
You have told me this a couple of times.
yes, so I'd stopped doing stand-up. I was just an actor. And I remember Rogan going, "You're
A very good actor, by the way. I just saw Warrior again the other day. It was on,
yes.
and all your banter with it was very good.
Thank you, sir.
Very real.
Thank you. But I stopped doing it. I was an actor. I remember I had a conversation with Rogan. He goes, "You're going to start doing stand-up again at 33?" He said that. I go, I'm thinking about it, you know. And then I saw you at fucking Dublin's, and I was watching you do, like, I have a friend who has these the pets that. Buying pets, he had a pet ram. Some pets suck. And my ram, my buddy has a ram. Dude, your ram keeps ramming me, dude. You have no idea. We were literally the place would, you know, the Apollo where people would explode. Yeah. That's what it was like. And I remember going home and I go, I have to do stand up. I have to. I gotta feel a little bit of what that's like, because otherwise my life's.
Here's what's cool: that everybody I know has a Dane Cook story like that. Like
I got a few as well.
Yeah. Like for you, and you don't know this, dude. You know the first comedy show I ever saw in L.A. I came out with Joe Kloppenstein, our two girlfriends at the time. We were staying at some terrible hotel in Hollywood. You know, we didn't have any money.
These guys allowed to laugh during?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're going to welcome more of that.
We were at some terrible hotel. We didn't have much money, and we bought tickets to the Laugh Factory. And Dane Cook, he was the first like live comic I ever saw.
Yeah.
We're like, holy shit. And then when first
that
time
was heyday too. That was probably like right when it was really starting to get.
That'd been 2006.
That was when I purposely would drive toward the club up Laurel so that I could come over the ridge and see the line out there. And I'm not even kidding. Every time I saw it, I'd be like, wow, this is fucking working, man. This is so.
It was
nuts.
I've never seen a Laugh Factory like that.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I ever headlined that Laugh Factory, I took a picture of and I was like, remember the last time you were here, dude? I was like, look at this, man.
Wow.
Remember seeing Dane Cook? He's like, holy shit, dude.
You want me to sign that picture for you?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
That's the only reason I brought you here. It's just a giant poster.
Pulls out a laminated fucking.
I'm like, here's the ticket from there. Sorry, guys. I hate to do this on air. Here's the ticket.
By the way, is this lumbar? Because there's a fucking like a skull inside. What the fuck is inside?
Oh, you know what it is?
Roll towel.
No,
what is in?
It's liver, because the Liver King packed it with liver. That was the Liver King sat there.
Something in here.
There is something that pokes, though. Yeah, you're right.
You feel that?
Oh, right there. Yeah,
it's
that's
hurting. Is it
no, the Liver King. He's so rich. He brought his own table.
Are you
Guys, back to one. Can we just do right from the
Restart.
get-go? From the start. Let's start
Tell
on the
those
picture.
stories again.
Let's start on the picture. I'm going to sign it. Do we have it? Guys, props.
Got it. Get a pen. It's got to be the gold pen.
That time also was like, Callen's in there. We're full time. The lineups. Harlan's in there. Some of the guys that were coming, the Freddie Soto's in there. Like
Amazing.
And those shows are unlike anything I'd seen before, or maybe even to this day. I mean, once in a while you'll get one of those scorching lineups, but just showcase lineups.
Oh my God.
Those gigs, man. Oh, they were something special. And if you didn't come in really ready to go, it was going to eat you up.
Yeah, you get buried.
Well, you were
Embarrass you.
following. I'd be following someone. He would usually close it, but sometimes you have to follow him. You'd have to follow fucking Harlan Williams, who's a monster.
Even to this day,
Oh my God.
I had to follow him the other night. Monster.
I ever tell you what Harlan did one time? We were doing a sort of a festival, and it was me and a bunch of comics. I think Steve Byrne, myself, just I don't know who it was, but everybody was had headliners. And Harlan got up the last and did all of our sets in his own words, and did a collage of our sets.
He's so funny.
And destroyed. And it took the audience about 3 minutes to understand what he was doing.
Yeah.
We were all like this. I couldn't fucking believe how good
he's one of the best, like, improvisational off the top.
Oh
you know, I
my
put him in Employee of the Month. And
That's
every
right.
scene that Harlan did, I don't think he ever, quite literally, I don't think he ever read anything that was on the script. Ever. Ever. We would go into scenes, and by the way, we had Andy Dick in scenes, which was like bonkers, but he's genius.
Yep.
So imagine Andy Dick and Harlan, and if you watch any of those scenes, because the movie is now a classic. Let's face
it's
it.
so good. I watch every time
Watch
it's on.
my shoulders, because I'm like this so many times because I'm just trying to not laugh at these
them
motherfuckers.
both. Look at both of them.
Yeah.
They're already hilarious.
Here's my favorite Andy Dick story. Andy came to set, and he was very well behaved, and he was super lucid and cool. And we were a little nervous, a little trepidatious, because you're not sure what you're going to get with Mr. Andy Dick.
Don't know.
Well, the wheels came off at week 5. We had one more week of filming, and Andy just decided to go fucking NFL blitz on the entire big box store we were filming in. And he ran around, and let's just say, and I'm going to be kind of like, I'll try to be political. Let's say he grabbed people on parts of their body that maybe you just don't grab.
Frowned upon.
You know?
It'd be frowned upon.
Right?
Mostly guys.
Today's
Mostly
culture
guys.
frowned
He
upon.
just ran rickshaw, you know, with his digits.
Oh, there he is.
It's usually some big dude, some big sort of like.
It was every kind of person in that store, because the store was still open in some places where we were filming the Employee of the Month scenes and others.
Is it an actual Costco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the police were involved, and for the rest of the shoot, for the next week, what was that?
Police were involved.
Was that oh, I thought you were shushing me.
No,
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
sorry, I'm trying not to laugh.
Oh shoot! Oh, that was
I thought it was being
that was one of the most interesting laughs I've ever heard. Imagine if people laughed
Everyone
by
stop,
shushing you.
Yeah.
So the police had to be there, and the last I know the scenes. The last like week of filming, it would be like, say I'm standing next to Andy Dick, and then out of frame, you don't see 1 foot away is a cop who had to stay within
Make sure he
6
doesn't
feet
touch anybody.
of Andy. And so there's scenes where I'm looking at Andy, but I'm actually looking at the cop who is like standing right next to him, making sure he doesn't bolt. And
the cop laugh periodically.
yeah, he was having a good time with it, but Andy would pretend to run away every once in a while. And so like 4 or 5 times they say cut, and then Andy would go like that, and the cop would be like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then of course, like on the very last day of filming, they go cut, and Andy really darts because the cop's on his wrong fucking foot. He, you know, the wrong ankle. He's not ready to like actually. And then he ran around the whole store again, and that's when he was.
Well, now
fully
Andy does
kicked
that
out.
on the streets of like Baltimore.
Yeah, I know,
Pays
Andy.
dearly.
Still hilarious.
Andy Dick.
Oh, he's
So hilarious.
Yep.
He's so funny. When you got into stand up, because there's been guys like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, where you get so big. Kevin Hart, obviously, he was using your game plan, but was Hollywood movies was the goal or no?
It was a hope, but it was almost like that just came through people that were fans of the stand-up that were kind of becoming what they were, and producers and the executive side and directors. Like Kevin Costner put me in Mr. Brooks because he used to come down to the factory. He would come down, he'd check out the shows, and when I submitted a
I remember
tape-
you telling me about this, dude.
Yeah, it's like I submitted a tape to Costner, and he wouldn't have probably honestly watched it if he wasn't a fan of the stand-up already.
I've seen
So
it.
when he called me, he was like, you put some time into this tape. And I was like, I want it. I want to, go toe to toe. And he was like, I'll see you in Shreveport. And that wouldn't have happened if he wasn't a fan of the stand-up. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin Costner, what's up with putting Dane Cook in Yellowstone season 5, bro?
Let's
you as a
stop.
cowboy?
I'm already talking to him about this next thing that he's doing. I
Yeah.
said, he hit me up about a month ago. He goes, you know what today is? I go, what? And he goes, 15 years since Mr. Brooks. Happy anniversary.
Oh, that's cool.
And we had a really beautiful chat. And that guy, I've learned more from Kevin Costner, just as far as like how to be a guy, how to be on set, how to work your fucking crew and make everybody feel like it's just, you know, it's everybody's prize when you win. And that is a class act.
Yeah, he's a
salt of the
legend.
earth guy.
I just watched Bull Durham and it holds up.
His flavor saver.
Bull Durham, so good.
So good,
So
dude.
good.
I just watched it. So fucking good.
What is it?
Let's shave that, right? Let's shave that.
Demi
Kevin Costner,
Moore.
shave
By the way,
that,
Demi
though, right?
Moore back then.
Right? Shave that.
Well, he looks like he was auditioning for Zod.
Yeah.
But dude, how hot was Demi Moore?
Beautiful.
Back then,
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Still is.
And method actor, and came into that role like kind of treating me as the character. Like, you know, I was a piece of shit. I was like this derelict, you know, and she was awesome, man. Like I'm in with A-listers in this thing, going in my trailer every day, studying up, getting ready, and being like, I got a shot here at like doing something great with greatness.
Yeah.
And so I didn't skimp on that. I put all the effort into that.
And I don't know if today's game, again, it's better for comics because you have more, you can be your own boss, right? You don't need agents in Hollywood to give you the okay, and you can put out your own special wherever you want now.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the executives be like, yeah, this is funny, right?
Right.
That's good. But I think those days are kind of over, I think, as far as the comics.
Well, I think
they're
over. Well, they're over. They're over in that nobody can trend for long. And so it used to be
Too much content, right?
Yeah, you would do something and it would trend. So if you had a
Right.
special, you do a special for the next year. People are repeating your jokes. Now there's so much content that if they get through 5 minutes of your shit, you're lucky because then they're
Yeah.
going to the next thing. And I think our brains have been so rewired with reels and TikTok,
Which isn't
and
good.
it's
not
not
good.
because what happens is
It's not good.
your body of work becomes something you consume like candy. It becomes like a niblet.
Your body of work becomes what it was that week.
That's it. So they get
what
a
has
shot
it
of
done me that
dopamine. It gets turned into a
You
shot
sound
of
like
dopamine.
grumpy old man.
But it's true.
You sound like grumpy old
It
man.
becomes a shot of dopamine instead of a joke that people think about that
Right.
sits with them.
No, I was with a guy in San Jose. I was talking to this comic, and he was like, "Yeah, I sold out my first weekend, man. Added shows." I'm like, "How long you been doing these? All 3 years?" I'm like, "Jesus
Wow.
Christ!" And I go, "What sold out?" He goes, "Did a clip, man, minute 30 clip." I'm like, "The minute?" He goes, "Just went viral." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
That's a career I'd be fascinated to like watch because
Yes.
that's tricky. You know, when you get like invited into the inner circle, usually what normally would happen is you get there, you know, based on maybe like one shining moment you've had, but then they're in the what else do you got business?
Yeah.
And so to break through that rapidly and to be able to
You
fill
got
the room,
something to say.
I want to know like, but I think that because we're in an excerpt world that, and I this is even like front and center of my new special, it's even more important. There can be no garbage talk. There really can't be any fucking flotsam and jetsam. You got to put real truth into whatever it is that you're putting out there. Cause I think that's what hooks people into wanting to watch the next clip of you. If they're getting something, you know, something really real as well as something really funny out of it.
What is this on above it all?
So right now it's on Moment. I partnered with Moment. That's where Schultz went.
Schultzy.
Yeah, man. He fucking like what I gave him all his flowers on that because he turned what was probably a negative into a huge positive. And this company, who I'd been meeting with before about wanting to do this independently, came to me and showed me like, this is our system. This is our way of doing things. This is the way we run a contract. And it was so refreshing and different from the ownership of IP that comes with some of the other outlets that to me, I feel like this is the next incarnation.
So it's not YouTube. It's Moment is a website.
Yeah.
you direct to your fan.
Yeah, but here's the great part. You do a contract with them that goes, hey, let's do, like I did a 14-day run. Let's do 14 days. It's a page. They take a fee. You get your IP back at the very end of the run, day 14, unless they go, you want to do another 7
You
days.
own all of it. Wow. So Dane can do what he wants after the 14 days.
But even better, at the end of the 14-day run, they give you a data sheet or a little mini hard drive. Get everything on it. I have every email. I have every phone number. I have all the region. I have all the analytics. Everything. They don't keep anything to go. Now come back to us because we're the.
And what made you decide to go that route? Obviously, some guys before I've had success with that, like Louis C.K. is kind of the first one to
Talk
do
to
it.
Louis about it. It's love, you know, looking at the guys that have done independent release, of course, like just looking at every model that's worked and the things that have definitely not worked for me over the years and realizing they're going to spend so much time, effort, and energy chasing your royalties that to own and operate your own material in a world where like you're creating your own network already. why pass it off to a person or people that are going to then third party it, whether they say they are or not? Those fingers are going to go out. They're going to receive a lot of income, and then the monetization that they received, you probably won't even know about. And then you're going to sit and wait for maybe a year or two for your residual checks. And why are they going to hold it?
That's right.
Because they're making the interest off your money holding it. And you'll end up chasing. I've had bad record deals that I'm still in breach of contract negotiations.
I bet.
To get back what I made, what I created.
That's what I was going to say. Was there something that happened where you're like, all right, I'm not going the traditional route anymore. I'm going to do this?
It was probably a mixture of some bad deals along the way, but also realizing from my career early, like when I was selling these through my first websites, I was owning and operating the whole thing. I was a fulfillment center. And it was more gratifying. Like what I'm doing right now, I love this more than any other opportunity to do 2 or 3, or do you want a package, or do you want to? No, I'd rather just in real time be able to watch and see where in the world my fans are enjoying my stand-up so that I can better target what I want to do next. Ben Stiller just said about that great show, Severance.
Yes.
You watching that? It's good.
I've heard of it.
He's not even getting the streaming data. I think he might have come out in like a Forbes or Rolling Stone. Even he's like, they won't tell me how many.
Shit.
Well, that's because then you'll leverage.
What's it on?
Well, Netflix doesn't give you any analytics.
Where's Severance on?
Apple
Apple
TV, right?
TV, yeah, it's a big show.
You're not getting their information. Netflix,
Netflix,
they keep it all secret.
and all they do is go, "Hey, man,"
but they know everything.
Yeah, we paid you
in real time.
Imagine negotiating like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem legal, but obviously it is. But
they don't want you to negotiate.
All right, here's $5 million for your first special.
But what
then
I
your
love,
second one, they go, "Here's $10 million." You're like, "Wow, double!" But in their head, they're like,
that's all leverage for you. If you know you're getting this many streams, that's bombastic. Of course, they're going to be like, "Oh man, now we gotta really put together a great."
That's what I love about capitalism, though. Moment comes along, company like that comes along, goes, "Here, we'll solve that problem for you."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I love it. I mean, there is a thing to going to Apple, or there is a thing about going to Netflix. They have market share, they have shelf space. They're going to get it out there if they know how to. If you get lucky enough with their algorithm. But you're right. I think more and more, content creators are going to own all their stuff, which is such good news for us.
For sure.
For the first time in the business.
Well, I think I actually hope it's a middle ground, Brian. I hope that it's like, listen, if you're a popular streamer, you've got a great splash page, like skin in the game this with me. Come at me. Don't give me a 5-year, or maybe you own it in perpetuity. Like, let's do something where it's like, all right, this is 6 months or a year. And then what that does is that puts the skin in the game for both of us to bolster it, because we both want to win. And it also lets me keep up with the jargon of a contract, that when the vernacular changes from downloads to streams, you're still giving me a couple of pennies off the dollar for the old jargon. But now, because the language has changed, they're allowed to be more willy-nilly with how, like, dude, I know all the legalese. I've spent way too much time with my attorneys going like, explain every page. Yeah. I want to understand this whole thing.
Yeah, but you have your black belt in this. This is why I wanted you in, because you have your black belt.
And I'm sharing the playbook. With the success of Moment, once this is done, I'm going to tell people a lot more.
I'll be calling
of the nitty gritty.
But this is
why we should be doing this, and why we should all be doing it, so that other streamers are like, let's do something that's a little more participatory.
Yeah,
skin in the game.
That's what I love it about it.
But not only
me too.
He did,
and I've made bank. It's like I self-financed the whole thing. Wow. I paid out of pocket for everything. Every drone. Marty Kullner came in, God bless him, just the guy that put me on the map, still making me look great up there. But to own and operate your entire special and make it something.
Where'd you shoot it?
At my house.
Yeah, it's at his house.
Yeah,
but Dave,
on my front porch.
But here's the thing. But you've always bet on yourself. I think that's why comics respect, because you've always bet on yourself. Like, what was the special after went through the whole drama with your brother, which we can get into or not if you want to? But,
isolated incident.
Yeah, and didn't you took the money from that and then you funded your own special? Right.
Well, everything after like 2008 was me owning my own catalog and putting it back in, and like, so everything, Troublemaker, Isolated, Rough Around the Edges, Madison Square Garden, I own all of those, and this.
Because you know what happened with his brother, right?
Yeah.
He stole that money. Yeah, and then.
Hey, Dane's been through some stuff. Okay, we were just talking. I said, you get older. Part of like when you get older, and you've been known each other for so fucking long.
You guys want to do a prayer circle before
Yes,
we get into
I
this?
do.
Because I'm
Yes,
starting
I
to,
do.
I feel the whole energy shift in here. And
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to take a
It's
hold. Let me
sad.
put the tongue on the roof of my mouth. 8 seconds in through.
Yes.
I couldn't do 8, but I got 3 solid seconds, and then
Right.
exhale.
By the way,
My resting heart rate is always 66, by the way. It never changes. I'm mental.
you know what? That's it. It's not even worth going into because as you get older, what you realize is you're like, we can indulge in what's happened, or we can just fucking have a laugh and move the
going.
fuck
Yeah,
forward.
we're
Yeah, I don't mind indulging because I am a firm believer that everything that's happened to me in my life, and I like to impart this on if I'm mentoring or just buddy with somebody. It's not bad. I don't look at anything that's happened to me as bad.
That's why I bring up
a beat down sometimes makes you want to fucking get up and be like, all right, now I know how to
stronger.
actually fight back.
Fuck yeah.
But that's why I bring it up because this is so Dane, because we talked about the improv, is that situation happened with his brother. And now this show's in life, so if this is out of pocket, you can tell me to edit it out. But now he's thinking about doing a documentary on that and having his brother and him
shooting
get
it.
together.
Oh, that's a great idea,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude,
Now, is your brother,
nuts.
is he out of jail?
He's out of prison. He served 5 of 8 years.
He's my manager.
That's a little awkward. Now, we want to talk about this.
This is awkward. This is why I bring it up. He's my
That wall-
manager.
Check
that
your
wall
accounts.
breaks
I was just going to
through
say,
that wall.
are there red flags I should look for? What if he was my manager?
But he's reformed. He's reformed. Is he going to be in the documentary?
That remains to be seen. We'll have to see
Wow.
what's going
Can you
on.
imagine?
I
Like, so
love-
what a company. It's so Dane Cook. You imagine?
You have
Lemon
to see.
to lemonade,
Dude,
What
baby.
I will
Full
tell you.
circle.
I will tell you this. It is if we
It's
do
me
our
with the
job.
wig on?
If I,
You won't do it, so it's me with the wig.
You're playing your
Pretend I'm Dane.
if we do our job correctly, the whole goal of this doc is I want whoever is going to distribute it to go, fuck, is this comedy or true crime? Yeah. I want it to be in either or both columns because nobody knows how dark. I've talked about it. You guys don't know how dark it really got. People don't realize
You
how
told me the story,
sinister.
but I don't know if you got.
Not all of it.
Not
Right.
all of it. That's
Not
what
all
I'm
of it.
saying.
Not the stuff that took years in therapy to fucking undo that knot, man. You know, those moments of betrayal where you just stare at that fucking knot and go like, all right, what am I learning from this? Where's the data
Did you
in this?
find when you go through, I know exactly what you mean by betrayal and stuff. Did you find that sometimes when you go through something, you lose your faith in people? Or you get the betrayal or whatever.
Do you hate people like me and Bryan?
What happens is it's really hard not to be fucking
real
way.
the way
I
you
was
said
so
that.
naive. I liked everybody.
So real.
Yeah, it's true. But I
You
like
have resentment against a lot of people like me and Bryan?
Yeah, he'd laugh at me because I like everybody. Like, come on in my house. It doesn't matter. Oh,
Yeah.
you got
I used to
track
be like
marks.
that.
But
Yeah.
you get older and
Boundaries, baby.
It's hard, dude. It's hard not to let it affect your overall
Wasn't hard.
joyful look at the world.
Was not hard.
No?
I even though it crushed me because I loved my brother.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that guys, could we get some WD-40 for the chairs maybe at a break point or something? Or maybe we could just do a pause and
I
adjust.
told you
and
he's
we
got
all
ears
do
like
it.
a fox.
Okay.
He's got ears like a fox.
It's whoopee cushions or something happening over there. It's really pulling me
God,
out.
he's
Maybe one of
sensitive
the.
as fuck.
This is
A
one
really
of the most
intense
important
story.
parts of the
Yeah.
retention rate's going to be so fucked for this
God
episode unless we.
damn it.
Start again, dude.
No,
Start
no, no.
again.
In all sincerity, it did not throw my trust out of whack because even though I was like in the undertow for a while, I understood that it was him. I didn't start going like the whole world. Like I was already in Hollywood enough to know like, okay, piranhas, a lot of fucking, shitty people. And I got the business side of it, but it didn't affect my personal relationships. The people that were in my life that I loved were still there after, and new people coming into my life almost had a better awareness of like maybe where I was. More mindful people were coming into my life.
Were you and your brother close growing up?
Lived together. Yeah.
Like,
Very close.
And older or younger brother?
Yeah, he's 6 years older.
Yeah, my
it's
brother's
your-
my tour manager. I tell him, like, don't Dane Cook me, dude.
It's your
think that became a
brother-in-law,
term.
isn't it? Isn't
Now
it
it
your
is.
brother-in-law?
Yeah, from my mom's previous marriage.
Okay.
So same mom.
Same mom.
Same mom.
So it's
Yeah,
your
it's brother,
so it's your
blood.
half blood brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but all this stuff that we're gonna
Would you give him a
explore
hug
in
if
the-
he walked in right now?
Would I give him a hug?
him a hug?
Wow, that's
Expensive
an interesting
hug.
question. We might see. We'll have to see what happens with the.
How?
I'm in!
Dude,
We
when
might-
he told me this at the improv, I was like,
We
oh,
might.
oh my God.
I'm so in.
We might. You never know who might. But I will say there's some interesting people that want to be in the doc and talk about, because we're gonna cover the upper echelon of comedy because we have to explain what was happening. I didn't want to do a documentary about my I'm a young 50. I'm almost 22 when you look at me.
Dude,
my
you got a 20-year-old body. Keep going.
Thank you so
The
much.
way you move,
Callen,
bro.
Thank
the
you so much.
way you move, bro.
Yeah. And my back is broken from this fucking chair after I leave here.
But the way you move, bro, you float. You
The
don't
way you
even
pick
move.
Callen
Thank
up,
you.
he's 140 pounds like
Dude,
that.
I just fucking brought you up, and I almost swan dive you right
One
onto the
Amazing.
knob
I
of my
would never want to
fucking
fight you. I
back.
wouldn't last a minute.
What?
Because you could beat me up or fuck me.
Upside down gobbles
God.
were almost taking place at that
Gobble,
point.
gobble. Happy Thanksgiving, you fucking man turkey.
Gravy for everybody.
Sorry,
But
I have a boner now. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
So yeah,
I would like to see the edited for television version of this conversation where they just put like banana and fishbone every other word for some reason. Banana, fishbone, bananas.
And then the X-rated version is just fucking cock and balls.
yeah, the OnlyFans version. But I'm not in that. Just you guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with the doc, it's just not gonna be focused on that. It's gonna be the whole comedy. Because you know what I
Yeah,
love when you talk
it's
about
philosophy.
it. It's rare when you talk about it. Is when you talk about coming up in the Boston days.
Yeah.
For like a younger comic, I love hearing about those days.
Yeah.
And the guys and like just you guys were such savages, man.
Yeah.
Like
You
all
had to
the
be.
guys.
You had to be, because the whole scene was predicated on men doing comedy. And it was like the Lenny Clarks and the Don Gavins and the Steve Sweeneys. These guys were just fucking they were intimidating sitting at the back of the room before their set. You know, this wasn't the comedy scene where you thought everybody's just like, you want to write some jokes together? Let's talk each other up.
No, never.
It was like,
Miserable.
you do 4 minutes. If you do 4.5, I'm throwing my beer at you. Get the fuck off at 4.
Yeah.
All right. And don't do any of that. And they tell you something you shouldn't do. And you'd be like, oh, it's kind
Don't
of
do
my
this
shtick.
premise. You're like, dude, I got 5 minutes.
You know, you had to earn their respect. It was a hazing back. It was a real hazing. And guys like Burr, like I give credit to Burr because Burr was so different in stand up. Like he's probably the one who evolved the most.
Agreed.
His early stand up was like his shtick was like kind of like a little, I'm the dork and I'm kind of goofy and, you know, Bill Burr and like.
Still mad?
No. It was
Yeah.
like, it was really, he was a dental assistant.
Just different.
Yeah.
He was a dental assistant with ginger and a scrawny, pasty kid who, when he came in, it was like he had Patrice, who's just like savage from the beginning. And then even Bobby Kelly to some point was just like
Bobby's
real
great.
ball buster. You know what I mean?
Bobby's so
Like
good.
when the show went into disarray, he was so good at like if there's a loose rope, it fucking wrapping it around his hand and fucking being like pulling it taut. And like Bobby could but he would do it in that manly Boston, Winthrop, Massachusetts kind of like, I live by the sea.
Yeah.
I'm fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to
I
lean
saw
into
him
wind
do
like
that.
this.
Yeah, I saw him do that in front of 1,500 people in Vegas
Bobby Kelly?
at Beecher's Madhouse.
Yeah, oh, boy.
After fucking Paris Hilton got up on stage and everyone was like, "Wah!" And she was just saying something, and they're like, "Ah!" And they didn't want any comedy.
Yeah.
And Bobby Kelly got up there in front of 1,500 people who
out
did
for
not
the
want to see it at all. They were just like, "Fuck
They
this,
didn't know they needed
Yeah.
it.
dude."
It makes it look
Bobby
like it's
Kelly.
nothing.
Oh my god.
No, he has a special. Finally, Bobby Kelly special.
And
Louis C.K. produced it. It's on
yeah.
Louis.
I think CK directed it.
did.
Actually, that's awesome.
Well, Bobby Kelly.
And Bobby Kelly, he talked about it on Schultz. Bobby Kelly said people don't realize the mastermind that Louis C.K. is because Louis gave his whatever Grammy Award winning staff or Academy Award winning staff.
Yeah.
They're like they're gonna produce it for you. He was like, I just thought you'd hire like a regular production company. He hired his staff, so who win all these awards, right? And then I guess Louis came in. He did this with Rogan too. Louis came in and was looking at the setup because he was like, Bobby, you need to do this in a club. Comes in and was like, we need to move this. And Bobby's like, no, it's good to go. He's like, it's not. He moved this, added 45 seats here, changed angles here. And Bobby's like, dude,
Bobby's
killer. Did it with Rogan's new club. Rogan took him and Louis like, you got to do this.
Wow.
That's great.
This just savage.
Well, we all came up, Louis, those guys, Rogan, Maron, they were kind of ahead and they were leaving Boston. And we were just, you know what it is? You had to be a wrangler. You had to keep that crowd because oftentimes it was
aggressive.
combat zone downtown. Wasn't the theater district we know now. It was rough, man. Rough and pimps and
who
prostitutes
fucking
hanging
hell-
outside.
And just working class.
That's the
too.
good stuff.
Boston, people don't realize how aggressive Boston is.
Yeah.
Boston is a place where if you go to a bar, it's so easy to this day to get into a fight. But back then,
Right.
back fucking then, I'm telling you, I say this all the time, and correct me if I'm wrong. You would go to a bar to not see a fight, at least one fight a night was
We're off night.
it truly. I'm not joking. That sounds
Charlestown's
like
changed a little bit.
It was a
now it was
fight.
cameras and lawsuits. Back then,
Well,
Yeah.
because of money.
back
too.
then, the bouncers were no fucking joke.
I'll tell you what it was. It was a fight that then would, it'd be like haymakers in the packed, bar. And then what you would see is that person would get yanked, they'd get roughed and then thrown. And then you'd look out the window and you just see a dude with some blood spitting for the next 15 minutes, pacing, waiting for his friends to probably finish
a
their drinks or
lion at the
whatever.
zoo.
He just got his fucking
right.
ass handed to
Yeah.
him.
That's
right.
And you just watch him out the window as he was like surly and spitting blood,
10 degrees
yelling
out.
at the building.
Yeah.
That was it, man. There was no lawsuits, no cameras.
And your class of comics was who? Who'd you come up?
Yeah, it was Burr, Patrice, Gulman came like a year after, Bobby Kelly, and then like there was a bunch of like Bob Marley's and like just killers, comics that like came again. The ability to
Brewer?
leave your act.
Jim Brewer.
Jim was, I don't know if he hopped a lot from New York, but once I went to New York, it was like, all right, now I'm in the pits
Yeah.
with, addt'l and Brewer and a young Chappelle. And yeah, it was like, oh, Boston's going to launch me into New York. And then that'll be relatively easy, because now I'm used to these rough and tumble crowds. And then you get to New York and they were like, they'd already cut off the fat and they were even better. So you couldn't bring any,
Greg Giraldo, remember?
Dude, it was
Do
just,
you remember those guys?
Oh my god!
just monsters, man. We all came up like knowing
Louis was
that,
there.
How big would Patrice O'Neal be today if he had a podcast? Think how many tickets he would sell, dude. Because he was like one of the original like outliers who just didn't take shit.
He was also
they would
so-
close all the doors on
Yeah,
him.
he also thought so differently.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
with his brain, and he could be like a Tim Dillon or Joey Diaz and just ran into the camera.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking tickets the guy would sell today with his stand up in today's culture?
he was like in that Chappelle thing where it's like he was just transmitting on a different level. We all knew like at the very beginning, like watching Patrice was like, damn, how long will it take me to be able to like, he abandoned the act. You'd see him, and then he'd just be in real time talking something out like, what's really on my mind? And then he'd go into this thing that was even funnier. And so we definitely came up with a squad of, dudes for the most part that we were just constantly, there was a lot of ball busting, but there was still a lot of like championing each other because we all wanted to get out of there.
What about even when, because
Yeah.
all you guys basically made it in one way or another. Obviously,
Yeah.
nobody made it like you did. But even after
Burr? I mean, Burr definitely like
Burr
Louis
now,
CK.
Yeah,
Burr
like
was
Burr-
a late
Was Louis
bloomer.
hanging out with
What's
you
that?
guys? Was Louis hanging out?
Louis
back
had
then?
already gone.
Yeah,
Louis was already in
Louis
his
New York
writing
guy.
career next.
All right.
Rogan skipped, and then was like news radio and
Yeah,
stuff
Rogan
like.
was in LA.
Yeah,
But once you guys made it, did you guys stay tight or no?
I mean, for
Hey,
a
they're
lot
comics.
for a lot of years, it was
Nobody's
like
tight.
still
Yeah.
bringing each other on the road here and there. And like when I made it, and then I finally had Vicious Circle. I had Bobby and Gary on Tourgasm because I wanted to share in real time that spotlight and what was happening to me. I was basically saying to those guys like, come on in, like. I'm rocking, but pull your fans from here because we're all kind of similar.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
Same brand.
we
Like,
just all had that like a certain affinity.
Correct.
In a certain way that I think my crowds appreciated those guys. And it was a great turning point, sharing that moment with my buds was really, really
Magic, man.
gratifying.
And was Kevin Hart around then, or he was after you guys?
Kevin
right?
came later, but I sat at a dinner one night with Kevin Hart and Jamie Foxx before he was still just little Kev in New York City. And he told me, he's like, man, I watch your MySpace and I'm doing the same thing with my audience. And he kind of told me like what he really had kind of studied what I was doing. And then what he was like, I'm going to change a couple things, tell me. And I remember at that dinner being like, given Kevin's energy and enthusiasm and likability, coupled with now he's going to start, parlaying it in with this, digital realm, I had a good feeling that he would have the success. Well, he's even exceeded it, but I was like, he's going to break.
Yeah.
He's going to have his moment. We almost couldn't understand why he hadn't already, but he figured it out.
I had Jamie Foxx come up to me at this party and talk about stand-up.
Okay.
And he's the one guy who was like talking about how he had done a set in DC for the first time in a long time. And I'm a huge fan of his, so I was a little bit geeked.
long
I was
ago
like,
was this?
3 years ago, maybe, God, 3 years ago. I was going to say a year ago, fucking 3 years ago. And it's fucking time. But he came
Thanos
up and
snap
he was,
kinda
yeah,
throws
I think
everybody.
he'd seen something I'd done and he was saying nice things.
Yeah.
And I was listening to him, but I'm a big fan. Like I love his acting. I just like everything about him.
Yeah.
Stand up, man.
And,
Yeah,
and
stand up.
I said
He's
to
so
him, I go,
talented.
dude, man, I'd love to see what you could do with an hour. I'd love to see, because back then I think he was doing a lot of stand-up, wasn't he? I mean, or no?
He was also doing like, was that around like Any Given Sunday? It was almost like he was doing the
yes, because
acting
he was
stuff.
doing TV. Like I could tell. I'll tell you a story about that movie too, because I could tell that he so badly wanted to do stand-up. Like all what got from him was like he likes doing movies, but movies are boring. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And there was like this longing, and he was talking about how he did 10 minutes in DC. And how it went really well.
Took years
and I was like, And when you take years off, I don't give a fuck who you are. You got to go back in the ring.
Yeah, he has a special. He's a monster.
Yeah. The worst thing that can happen is the years off, and then your name gets a bigger ovation than what you're ready to live up to.
That's the problem. So you're in this like prison where you can't. You
must have felt that though. Like after which special?
I've always been great. I got to tell you, man, I've never
worried, man.
I've never let myself down. There's a line in We Are the Champions where it's...
yes, but you've never taken time off. However, you remember a long time ago, you were at the top of everything, and I go, what are you going to do this summer or something, and are you doing touring? And you go, I'm thinking about putting the mic away forever. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And you go, well, where do I go from stadiums? Like, what do I do here?
I remember that. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, that was like, I think that was before I gave myself permission to go, no, I love it. I love it at a small club. I love it on my front porch. I love it on any stage. And I realized after that era, like, oh, I don't have to prove this again.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it. Now now what I have to do is I have to figure out, where do I want to take my audience? Now I'm growing up. Like right now, I've got this, it's wild. Like, I've got my generation of comedy fans that I came up with. Their kids start seeing like Employee of the Month, Dan in Real Life, or maybe it's Planes. Now, my fans college age are bringing their kids. They're seeing me. They don't know I'm a stand-up.
Yes.
They know I'm Zach from, and they don't know I'm there to fucking like exceed my own expectations every night. So then these new fans are like, man, I didn't know it was going to be like that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be you, the guy from the movie with a couple of quips.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, man, this is what I do. This is my bread and the butter.
Young fans for me get me so geeked because I'm like, there are young people that they're actually listening. That makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not dying.
Yeah, I feel like
you're dying.
Yeah.
I feel like regardless of age, the one good thing about this, these things happening in real time through these apps, it is diminishing time and of a time, because if they see a piece of content, you go through that, like you'll see something from like the 1950s, you'll see something, a lot of 80s stuff, like, and the fact that it's all swirling around together, I think the next generation has more of appreciation for just real funny shit or real shit, regardless of how old you are, where you're from. And that's great. That's great for everybody. You don't feel like you have an expiration date on your career anymore.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a little break from chatting with Dane Cook.
From the great Dane
legend,
Cook.
buddy.
Yes.
The legend, Dane Cook.
Yeah. Now,
not a legend, but your boy's working. I'm in Salt Lake City this Thursday, Friday,
working
Saturday.
on being a legend.
Wise Guys. Yes.
Wise Guys.
Legend
One of my
making.
favorite clubs.
Meet Keith. Shout out to Keith.
One of my favorite clubs.
So Salt Lake City is this freaking weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
When are you gonna
we have
do
a
Canada?
fight companion on Thicccboy YouTube for UFC 280, me and Frank Mayer.
Okay.
You said
Well,
Canada?
I was asking, when
did you mention Canada?
Why don't you go north and do Canada?
All right, Brian, I'll do it for you.
I'm
I might
just
get
curious.
stuck up there.
Well, all right.
You know, it's tough.
But
with
you
the
don't
border.
do something like, don't do like Winnipeg or somewhere
I'm
like
gonna do.
in
How about Calgary?
Saskatchewan.
Does that work?
Calgary's a
Next
place.
Thursday, Calgary at the rooftop, downtown Calgary, because that bad boy's almost sold out. We add a show on Friday.
What?
At the rooftop. That's next Thursday, Friday, October 27th, 28th, Calgary, Canada, baby.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Don't neglect the U.S. and don't neglect a state that's as American as apple pie.
You're talking about Texas.
I'm talking about Texas.
All right. How about if I did San Antonio and Houston?
Only if you
back-to-back weeks.
What?
November 3rd, San Antonio through the 5th. Houston, November 10th through the 12th.
That's crazy talk.
Texas.
If you tell me you're going to do Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my dad's hometown, on November 18, 19.
Also, who else's hometown?
I'm gonna flip
Who
the
else?
fuck out.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer's hometown.
Yes, he's popping right
You
now.
better not do that.
And B,
November
if you
18th
tell
or
me
19th.
you're going to go to the Comedy Zone in Charlotte, I'm going to freak out. Before that, you're going to be in Chicago Improv.
Well,
not Chicago, though.
I got to go to London, and then I'm going to go, after I go to London, Brennan, I'm going to go to the Chicago Improv, October 27, 28, 29. Then I got Charlotte, North Carolina Comedy Zone, November 10, 11, 12. Then Addison, Texas, Addison Improv, November
Shop my
17, 18,
special
19.
there.
Then Naples, Florida, off the hook, December 1 through 4. Now, here's the thing. I need to stay calm when I'm traveling. I don't like inflammation.
Come off the road.
Yeah, but I just wish there was some kind of a tincture, some kind of an oil I could take that I could absorb. I need something that has smart sorb technology. That's all. Because I want to absorb not 2%, 10%, but 90% of what I actually get.
Dude, you need some CBD, but just not any CBD. You need Next Evo. We're talking about great CBD.
Next Evo Revive CBD complex.
I use their sleep CBD. It knocks your boy out. On the road, your adrenaline's going, heart's racing. I take 2 of those pills, 3 if I'm feeling froggy.
Yeah, but I need it to absorb in like as little as 10 minutes. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we got you covered, man.
Yeah, but do they have gummies and capsules?
Yeah, whatever you want, dude. And listen, you're talking about 90% of what you think is actually getting wasted, not with...
Well, 90% of what you think you're getting is actually wasted.
Yes, dude.
Right.
We're talking clinically proven, smart sorb, CBD. They combine it with a patented curcumin.
It's curcumin.
Curcumin.
Curcumin
Yes.
with CBD, and apparently you absorb it 4 times better. Okay? So it's smart sorb, CBD. You combine it with patented curcumin. It's I think that's like a spice of some kind.
Sure. Don't settle for less. Get your supply of Next Evo Naturals Revive CBD Complex today, or shop their gummies, capsules, mints, whatever you want. Proven to absorb 4 times faster than standard CBD oil, and you can trust them. Get 25% off when you subscribe and spend $40 more at nextevo.com/recover with promo code FIGHTER. That's nextevo.com/recover, promo code FIGHTER. B, I know you're excited for the UFC this weekend.
Dude, Peter Yan and our boy Sugar Sean.
TJ, Aljamain, Charles Oliveira, Makhachev, Sean Brady, Muhammad.
I can't take
That's right. UFC 280 is here. Get closer to the octagon with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on UFC 280 and get $200 in free bets if your fighter wins. If you haven't tried DraftKings Sportsbook, today's the day. Want even more action? Cool. You can also double your winnings on a same-game parlay. Combine multiple bets like which fighter will win, how long the fight will last, and more. All right? Listen, Charles Oliveira, Makhachev, if you want to make some bank, you don't really want to bet on the favorites unless you do a parlay, which you can combine the favorites in the parlay. But I like Charles Oliveira not only win, but do it in a parlay where he gets it done before 5 rounds. That's the bet, all right? Everyone who wants to boost their winnings, place a UFC 280 same-game parlay today. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code FIGHTER. Throw down $5 on UFC 280 and get $200 in free bets if your fighter wins. That's code FIGHTER this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Minimum age, eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. So after handling it all yourself, doing the special yourself, you're always going to do it this way, or... If Netflix came back next year, was like, hey, dude, we saw the numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you go, if somebody backs up a Brinks truck, of course you're going to be like, let me consider that, because the big kick from something like that, or I don't know if it's still as prevalent like this year as maybe a few years ago, it's like tickets on tour, people being able to get access to your stuff instantly and going like, I want to come see you. In terms of just, I want to own my stuff. I want to own my IP, and I want to be able to like, someday give my catalog to my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I have been fighting early stuff in my career to this day of just ownership over things that I made, like literally designed and made myself. And I don't want to go through that legal battle for the rest of my life. So if there's a middle ground where somebody sees above it all and says, because I shot 2 at once. I shot part 1 and part 2 over Friday and Saturday night.
Both at your house.
I'm editing part 2 now.
Gotcha.
So now with the success of the first one, if somebody were to look at like, you know, my account balance and what I've recouped and where I'm going from it, like good business would be to say,
we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. But let's also not put like a 8-year window and you have to wait until year 3 to get your money.
That's nuts. You did that on your front porch. You have part 1 and 2?
Yes, I'm editing 2 now.
What was an hour or what?
First one's an hour. Second one will probably be like an hour and 20. I had to cut out like all this. I had like great crowd work. The crowd didn't know they were coming to my house.
But then you did a longer set.
I did a whole new set. I did 2 crossover bits that I wanted to cover twice. But I watched Friday after Friday. I was like, I got it. I don't need to fucking edit. Like, I don't need to another angle. Like, I got it. So then I ran 2 hours on Saturday night. That was all the other stuff that I wanted to accomplish. And now we're cutting the second part.
So how are you gonna release all that then?
Well,
it's 2 specials.
So
2 and I have specials.
So right now, part one will be like after Moment. Then next week it reverts to. I'm meeting with distribution people now, so I might go with like a 10-finger distribution. That means you put it in 10 places instead of one.
Right.
Why keep it on one spot when I'm going to be able to, possibly exploit many different revenue streams?
And now you got a
right?
shitload of clips too that you can just
Clips, all that stuff. That all leads to monetization. But then it's like, okay, now I have part one, part two queued up to either follow suit on that, whether I keep it on danecook.com or meeting with Roku. 300 million televisions have Roku, or like there's great other resources that also want you to be like a partner in it and will give you back your.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I want my content back.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
your
because
whole
we've
thing,
all
keep
seen
it.
what happens when you don't get it back.
Yep.
Years later, you start going, now I'm only getting a fraction, but that shit's everywhere. Who's recouping on
Yeah.
that? Because
Somebody.
I'm
You're seeing
not.
nothing,
somebody.
Yeah, well, and I know who some of those somebodies are, but the reality is I want to own my content. I just want to be able to like, and it's a valuable way to do it if you're zeitgeisting and can get yourself out there like I can to go, I'll recoup. And now everything else is, like money while you sleep money.
Yep.
And I didn't have to edit anything out. This is the fucking show. People are seeing this show. And first of all, when you make any comedy show, it's got to be very funny, right?
Yeah.
Just want it to be very funny. But I wanted it to be introspective. I want to talk about some of the things in my life that were like scary, things that have happened to me that are have encumbered me in certain points of my life.
Give us an example.
Well, I tell a whole story about a stalker that I dealt with who was trying to find me and was like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to
one of the most incredible
years
stories.
of videos, years of her finding my house, years with the LAPD working on this case, coming out of my house like on a pivot every day. My
Tell
girlfriend
the
being
story
threatened.
about how. Can you say it?
What's that?
Shit.
Yeah. No, I tell her she came to my house and shaved her eyebrow. I tell the whole story in the routine, but she shaved her eyebrows and sent me the video standing on my porch of her just doing all this.
Healthy.
She actually works with me now. She's on my.
She's my manager.
She's on my.
Wait,
She's
she's
her
actually
manager with my brother, who now they work in tandem.
Full circle.
It's
She-
such
her
a
and my
funny
brother.
bit, but it's also like horrifying. Where the LAPD, that cop was like, are you allowed to say that part?
It's like no.
I don't know if you told this to me or to. Okay.
Yeah. No.
because I don't know how much you told me and how much is on the special. I haven't seen that.
It's
No,
like
because some of the
Dane's
stuff
like,
is,
yes. It's on the special.
some of the stuff would watch her feet.
being yeah, it's all in there.
It's all in there.
It's being able to like, nobody's going to tell you to cut your shit. Nobody's going to tell you you should or shouldn't have this bit. You release it the way you want to release it.
Yeah.
And then you get to, for me, show a whole different, I invited people into my home because this is the most personal material, but it's also got the LPMs, the laughs per minute, if you know comedy jargon, as we all do. Then it's like that perfect blend of like, if I brought this to somebody else, they might have said, can you change this or maybe do this with the opening? Or I don't want to
get
do
rid
any
of
of
the
that.
stalker, right?
Right, or something that I might have said that was too caustic
But you
in
said
their eyes.
the fans didn't know that they were going to your house?
No.
So how'd you put the word out?
There's a company you can hire out here called One Iota, and they will put together crowds for whatever venue. And so I hired them and I said, can you shuttle people from this parking lot that I'll rent? Don't tell them they're coming to my home and don't tell them it's for a special. Just say it's a secret Dane Cook show. So they got real diehard fans who didn't know they were going to be on my
great is that?
my front lawn. Yeah, 30 minutes later. Dude, it was awesome. It was amazing.
Were they allowed to go in the house?
I didn't let anybody in there. I did, and you know what? I let one guy in the house who came up to me and he said, "Can I get a picture with your refrigerator? I'm a big fan of your fridge. I've seen you post about it because I have this vending machine
Dane, that's your
refrigerator."
next
I would be like, nope,
That's the next
definitely
stalker.
not. My fridge, huh? That's what you want?
He's all, Dane, weird request. Mind if I can just take a shit?
There's a dude-
I always want to shit in your bathroom.
As he puts a tiny camera there.
Dane's like, sure, man.
Masturbation
And I'll
camera.
give you the code to the front door. It's just horrible with stalkers.
It was wild though, man. It was unlike anything I've done. Honestly, in my career, there's two things that I wanted to accomplish, and I got to do two at once. Which is, I wanted to film something on the porch of that house for a lot of reasons. I wanted to bring people closer to me than they had been before, with the comedy, but with something else that it was meaningful to me. And I wanted to premiere it at the TCL Chinese Theater, which was always a
they
goal
did a
of mine.
premiere for it.
Fucking great.
Which I was out of town, otherwise I'd been there.
Yeah.
They did a premiere for it.
It was so fun.
Which
man.
again, you know,
The Man Theater?
he launched it himself, but then
Yeah.
nobody's done a premiere. That's the other thing, you son of a bitch.
And I'm sitting in
No
the.
one launched it himself. No one's done a premiere.
I'm sitting there, and then I was like, you know what? Let's add a third, and then I masturbated to myself at the
Goodness,
TCL
good
Chinese
man.
Theater.
In the back,
to
in the
myself.
back?
Yeah, yeah.
With a
and
hood
instead
on?
of you know how I laughed like this. Shh, 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 shh. That's callback. He's not even
That's a
fucking
callback.
paying close attention. I hit him with the
did a
callback,
callback.
man.
Damn it! Way to ruin everything. God damn it. That's incredible, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man.
That is awesome. Now, what's next? What's next, Dane? Are you going to do stand-up? Do you think you'll be doing stand-up at 80? You ever
I
think
think
about
so.
this shit?
I think
me
so.
too.
Yeah, I love
How
it.
long did Carlin do it?
I love it.
Till he died.
I love
He
it.
died. Literally.
I love
till he
it.
died.
So did Richard Pryor. They had to wheel him up.
Yeah, you never.
wheelchair.
So did fucking George Burns. George Burns died at 100, and I think he just kept going.
I love stand up. I'll always do stand up. I feel like I've accomplished everything I've wanted to do now in stand up. So it's going to be cool to go back to like square one and kind of figure out like, what do I want to share next? Like, what do I do? Because I really just like put it
That's
all
why you
into
need
this.
kids.
This 4 years
need
like,
next
right?
phase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, probably could be something like that. But then it's behind the camera. I've wrote a series that my side company, Duffel Bag Entertainment, Moni Babat is my
Duffel Bag
business.
Entertainment.
Yeah, Duffel Bag. Great story behind that, but not for another day. But I'll tell you a wild story while we're Duffel Bag. But and we're developing a series that I'm hoping to also. I want to direct more. I directed a short film. We made it all the way to Oscar qualification. We made it from the submissions to the final 140
Fuck.
short films where they hit us up and they were like, man, you made it to the literal last,
Damn.
second to last. And I directed and co-wrote that. So probably
Not
more of that.
easy.
So you want to be behind the camera instead of
Love it.
Instead of
Say
being
action.
in the show?
Love it. Action.
Jesus.
God. Oh,
Dude, your
man.
voice.
Right?
In.
You're really dominant.
You kind of could feel like I was already believing
Well,
in
I
you.
wanted to act.
I was insert. Then let's
it.
why don't we act right now?
All
Here's the
right.
scene. Okay, you're a guy sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
You're dealing with something in his throat.
Yeah.
I'll show that. I'll show you clearly have cancer of the
Yeah,
throat.
yeah, I don't
No, ready? I got something
Yeah,
for you. Ready?
go ahead.
This is going to be a real challenging performance.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is what's going to happen. This gentleman, your character is going to be witchcraft number one. Okay.
Okay.
And you're just going to look at him. You're sitting back in the chair.
Yeah.
You've never had use of your hands. They've never moved. You've never been able to feel them, move them, nothing. And then whatever you're going to say, you can improvise a line. put the the magic juju over there, and then your hands for the very first time, you're going to have feeling in them, and then you could take it wherever you want to go.
the first time
And
you're feeling-
action.
If you buy this potion, your hands will work.
I don't believe in magic. That's so stupid. What? What?
Why are you smelling?
It's $150,000 a day to keep doing this. It's as small as you think.
And cut.
Oh, there you go.
Let's check Gates. That was great.
Seriously?
We're at
Do
lunch.
you want more? I can give you more.
No, that was
That's okay.
perfect. That was.
I can give you more. Whatever you
Why
want.
was he
I
smelling
like that you went into smelling.
Yeah.
That's a natural thing that you'd probably do, though.
Do that, you would.
Yeah.
And then I've never felt my hands on my face. And then
Yeah.
I
You gotta
certainly
touch your
haven't
big
felt
dick.
them on my
Yeah.
on
You
my
gotta touch-
piece.
Exactly. Might be.
On my piece, I call it my piece, dude. And then I was gonna go. A sparrow, and then you think I'm gonna release it, and I go.
Because I've never killed anything with my hands.
Yeah, because I use my hands now
And then
for
you kill
evil.
me, though. You kill me with your hands.
I was about to do
That's
that.
what I
And
want
right
to
then,
choke
Foo
somebody.
Fighters Walk kicks in, but the acoustic version.
And your neck is thick, and I'm like, your neck is crazy
You're like
thick, and
this.
it's a commercial for Iron Neck.
Yeah.
For the.
I'm like, do you have a skinny neck?
Yeah. So you know how I go. That's.
I can't wait to see this. You're going to animate this whole part,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Isn't this
fuck,
where it
yeah.
goes into an animated tale?
Yeah, somebody's
Fuck
going to do
yeah.
that now. Somebody's
Fuck
going to
yeah.
do that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. That was very good direction.
Should we read some current events, Jay?
Yeah.
Sure.
Current
The
events.
director would give me an adjustment. That's usually you have to
No
give somebody
notes.
an adjustment, but
Listen,
I was
no notes for
I've been
me.
doing it
notes.
so long.
Okay.
Yeah, that I
no notes.
I nail it.
Can I be very honest with you?
Yeah.
I already knew coming in I wasn't even going to use this scene, but I figured we were all set up. We had lights, and so it was fine.
That's like Todd Phillips.
Cameras are here.
Todd Phillips, I'm doing the Joker. Third day. I'm third day sitting around with Greer Barnes, speaking of great comics and a couple other guys, and I'm just sitting there watching how the scene's shot. I've been doing it so long, and I'm like, I'm not going to be in this movie.
You say something.
I go, hey, come here. Because I'm good friends with him. I go, come over. He goes, what's up? I go, I'm not in this movie, am I?
start laughing.
He goes, hey, listen, I don't know. I'm sorry. Probably not. It was so great.
I did a scene with Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear in Stuck on You. And I was a cop, and I pulled them over, and I heard Matt Damon say, as I was walking past him to lunch, something like, well, we're going to cut it anyways. and I knew I wasn't going to be in the movie, and I wasn't in the movie.
Oh,
Going to cut it anyway.
Adrian Brody was in Thin Red Line, and he was
Really?
he was in every huge part. He brought his entire family.
What?
His
cut him
entire
off.
He's
family.
cut out of the whole movie?
Literally, there's a great story about it. He cut his whole family, and they're all there, and he was just like, oh no, and he ended up not in the movie. There
they
was
didn't
a
give him a
tiny
heads
thing.
up.
So Frank Grillo, when he was in Minority Report, and I remember we were so young, and I go, can you imagine being in like a Tom Cruise movie or something? And he goes, I am. And I go, you are? And he goes, dude, it's crazy. And he's gotten the role. I was like, what? And he goes, it's different. Back then, when you got a movie like that, it was different.
Oh, yeah.
It's different
The
now.
word of mouth instantly. Forget about the success
You
or
have a
not in
career.
the movie. You're in it.
You made it.
Yeah, you're in it.
You're in a movie with
zeitgeisting.
Steven Spielberg and fucking Tom Cruise.
Right.
And a big part.
Yeah.
Big part. Dude.
You cut the trade piece out. You stick it on your magnet
and
and bring girls over.
If you don't have a film career, you're definitely getting a TV show.
Right.
So I was just like, bro, this is fucking incredible. I couldn't believe it. It was just like, and plus, it was some really good friend of mine that it makes you closer to it. I'm just like, oh.
Wow.
So I go. Now back then, they didn't tell you anything. I went to the movie
Yeah.
to see my boy.
Does he say what he's supposed to be doing in the movie? Like, what are you waiting for to see?
He played
He's a
this
cop
he was
or
playing
something?
This
Is he like
cop,
me,
this-
Tom,
who
dude?
was
I'm
chasing,
fighting him.
but he's a cop chasing Tom Cruise.
Okay, awesome.
But he's front and center, and there's a whole plot line and everything else. I swear to God,
Went to the premiere. You went to the.
I didn't go to the premiere. I went to after, and I swear to God, this was my dear friend. You see him go like this. You see the back of his head, and then you see him go like this.
That's it.
And he goes, I don't know. Not even a line. He goes, I don't know. And I said to him, I go, what happened? He goes, I saw like the first 15 minutes, and I went, oh no.
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. And he had his family. It was just like that. That was it.
You ever met Tom Cruise?
Yes, I have twice.
Okay.
I did a reading with him.
Yeah.
And then
What's the reading for?
It was
I love Tom Cruise stories.
So
I always ask.
it was Todd Phillips. I'm about to do Virginia Tech. I'm on this tour, stand-up wise. And he goes, are you in LA? And I go, no. He goes, oh fuck, I had the sickest thing for you. I go, what? He goes, I was gonna have you read all of Owen Wilson's parts across from Tom Cruise in this reading. It was only you, Eric Stoltz, Amy Smart, and that's it. And like
What?
at his offices.
Oh my God.
So I was like, I go, when is it? And he goes, it's tomorrow, forget it. I go, no, not forget it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing stand-up. I was like, I was headlining. I go, I can't do it.
Right.
I go, I'll be on a plane. I find a way to get on the fucking plane. I'm there the next day. I go to Tom Cruise's office. I've been reading it on the plane the whole time. All my scenes are with Tom Cruise.
Oh my God.
And we're right here.
Is your heart racing the whole time?
Well, no, I just kept looking at him. I had to stop staring at him because he was a piece of history.
Right.
Of my history.
He's magic.
It's a unicorn.
And all the posters were behind him. So I kept looking at him and I
His
was like,
movie posters.
yeah, and his face is
Oh, that's wild.
Savage.
yes, and he has a small face. But I'm looking at
A
all
small
his movies.
place or face?
Face.
Okay.
So all the fucking
Face was huge, face
movie
was
stars,
small.
Movie stars supposed to have big heads. He didn't. And I'm like, and I'm looking at all, and I swear to God, he goes, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. And he had, what did he have for lunch? He came in a little bit late, really apologized.
Yeah.
He had 6 pieces of yellowtail from Masuhitsa across the street
Okay.
with a tiny little jalapeno on each and a bottle of Penta water, which is that pH balanced water. That's what he had. As
Please
he
tell me
spoke
this
to
whole
us.
thing was to
That's lunch.
convert you to Scientology.
No, not at all. Then he
He just brings me a conversion.
now we do the reading, and then he wants to hear from every one of us about what we think of the movie.
Oh, wow.
So now, and dude,
Wow.
when I tell you that when I'm talking, he's listening to you like this.
Yes.
Like he's so invested. He goes, hold on. Are you saying?
He's into it.
And yeah, and he's going, wow, that's a good. And it didn't matter if the idea. I don't know if my ideas were good. I don't know if anybody's ideas were good, but he was so invested.
Yes.
So then we're done.
You
and he
dressed
goes
like this at the house?
I may as well have been.
Yeah.
No, I'm at his office. Then after that, I get this from him. You're very talented. You're very talented. He looks at me like this, and I'm like, thank you. I had 2 pit bulls in Venice. I don't know how I found it. I had a picnic table in my backyard. My pit bulls were there, 2 pit bulls. There was a giant fucking fruit basket. My girl calls me and goes, you have a fruit basket,
Wow.
a gift basket from Tom Cruise. The biggest thing you've ever seen, cheese, fruit. Thank you for your talent and time,
Posters
Tom.
of him.
Yes.
From the
I still
wall.
have the
Eight
note.
by 10.
I still have the note. Yeah, thank you for your talent and time. 6 months later, I'm at an Oscars party. It's like Madonna, fucking David Blaine, Puffy.
Yeah, nobody's.
Everybody, nobody.
heard of him.
And Mr. Cruise. And I'm now in a group talking to Mr. Cruise. And I look at him and I go, I don't know if you remember me, I did that reading for the men that, what the fuck is it wrote?
Few Good
and
Men?
he goes like this, he goes. He looks at me, he just goes, yeah, how you doing? He doesn't remember. And then as we're talking, he
He's
goes
Tom
like this,
Cruise.
he remembers.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I have a witness to this. He goes, you were great in that reading. I remember, that was the one, you were great in that reading. And I said, thank you. And he goes, you were great. Katie Holmes is right here. She looks like she's so over the whole situation. And I'm all due respect, but she did.
Well, she's used to this. This
She
is what he
looks
does.
exhausted.
What he does to everybody.
He makes
He goes,
everybody
"I
feel
rain on
like
your parade.
No,
didn't
I
he?
agree. And he goes, and he kept doing this. This is my impression. He goes, you were great in that reading. And he goes, his timing. I said thank you 13 times. My friend said, he goes, how many times? I said, how many times I said thank you? He goes, 13 times. I said it 13 times. Because he kept saying, and then we spoke, he and I, for an hour and a half about our kids and about
Oh, wow.
life. And about
wait
wrestling.
a second,
I was
that's
so we're both wrestlers.
rare.
We're both high school wrestlers.
Okay.
I went to Dan Gable's camp. He couldn't afford it. He wanted to go to Dan
He went to
Gable's
the
camp.
Outsiders.
That's right. So we spoke about that. We spoke about wrestling. We spoke
Wow.
about everything but
Wow.
acting.
Jesus Christ. This is a long Tom Cruise.
And I remember going, I know, but I remember
Holy
going,
fuck. Jesus Christ. It just
was-
all started with him going, you ever met Tom Cruise?
but that was my Tom Cruise. That was my Tom Cruise experience.
He's like, Brian was like, did you say Tom Cruise? Chan, get ready for a 45-minute monologue on Tom
45
Cruise.
minutes on Tom Cruise. But I thought, I was like, maybe we'll be friends after this.
You never heard from him. 'Cause you
Heard
didn't-
from him.
You didn't convert.
He got into an SUV.
You didn't convert.
He got
I was
an
going to
SUV.
tell my Tom Cruise story, but there's so much Tom Cruise story in this.
I was going to try
You
and
know
cut
what?
it
I'll
off.
be back. I
Yeah,
feel like we're going to
I
do
bet you
very
have a
well
better
with
one
this.
because you worked.
I
you worked-
don't.
No,
I
no,
don't.
there's no.
I'd
there's no-
sell it like it's better, but the reality is that's probably a better.
But was
an
he
hour
really?
and a half.
Was he?
Hey,
Really
here's a
cool?
segue. Dane, what was your Tom Cruise experience?
Did he?
like?
But did he want to know about
He was in
stand-up?
front of me at Jack in the Box, and I beeped. I said, "I don't fucking care if you're Tom Cruise or not. Get the fuck going."
And he paid for your order.
And then he went.
And then he paid, and he goes, and the guy behind
And he goes,
me.
"You were great. You were great."
Was he? Did
Yeah,
he? Did he?
3
Did he?
times.
Did he talk to you about stand-up though?
He didn't. No, he didn't talk to me. But it was just that moment of like you felt like you were in his world for a
He's
second.
royalty.
I'll show you what he. And my story is very quick. Ready? Somebody say you want very quick. Ready? You can time this like 20 seconds tops. And what I like, he reiterates. And what I like is you got that part of him. He reiterates. And this was it. He was talking to somebody else, and this person, mutual friend, said, "Tom, have you ever met Dane Cook? This is Dane Cook, and I'm gonna come to you. Ready? You can stay seated."
Yeah.
He goes like this. Ready? Put your hand out. He goes. Very pleased to meet you. Very, very pleased. And then he went, "Excuse me." And what that meant was, you go, because he stayed there.
Oh, wow.
So his excuse me
Amazing.
was some kind of,
Now you get out of my grave.
dude, I backed away.
Yeah.
I never backed out of I never
disappeared.
backed.
You know what?
I backed
like a
away.
magician.
He's the
Waving
king.
like this.
He's the king.
All right, have a good day.
Well, you part of your fame was having to manage.
I can
people
still feel
and
his hand.
Yes. Well, he has to manage
His
human
essence.
energy. His essence. And my hand's a lot like his. Admit that.
That was a great
Say
handshake,
it.
by the way.
Say it.
I'm
That's
not,
good
I don't
acting.
even have. You didn't have to push me on it.
Yeah. Well, no, I played Dane Cook in that role. Remember?
Did you?
Yeah, you were Tom Cruise. Remember? I played Dane Cook. So I was a little bit like I'm confident, but I get it.
But you grabbed me like you were a person who just got their hands back.
Hands
It
back.
was experience.
Full circle. Full circle.
Clip it.
Clip it.
Brian, you ever met Morgan Freeman?
Well, now that you say that,
Just say Morgan Freeman. Oh my God,
there was this bus.
Bro.
Day 2, we're at Marie Callender's. Tom drives. Really interesting side story.
Marie
Cut to us, we're both hanging.
Morgan Freeman played paddleball, and I play paddleball, right?
Are you okay? You having an allergic reaction? I did touch 9 cats before I shook your hand. Gotcha!
balloons, and comfortably numb plays. My hands felt just like 2 balloons.
To wrap it up on Tom Cruise, he's like the last superstar. There's really no
100%.
Him and DiCaprio are kind of like, I feel like they're both a superstar, Hollywood, thespian, like both top there. If they did a movie together, it'd just be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, Cruise.
And to think about Tom Cruise's career, no movie's bigger than The Last Top Gun. Most successful movie of all time.
Yeah, and it was fucking awesome.
Dude,
Awesome.
It was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
American Eagle on my back tattoo after that.
My
Dude,
buddy-
I stood up and fucking clapped at that
Yeah,
movie theater.
and my buddy goes like this. He goes, Ed, they lost me. I go, when?
Oh, fuck
and he
off.
goes, in the beginning, he's doing Mach 10. When you eject,
no.
you would disappear. I know, dude. I know that, but I mean,
a
who
movie.
cares?
What are
But
you
he's
I
right.
was
He's right.
doing that man cry during the scene with Kilmer, where I was just like trying to pretend I'm still watching the movie and wiping like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? I'm still.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking. It's not a river coming out of my
Yeah.
No.
retinas.
No. What makes you cry?
I'm pretty sensitive, man. A lot of things get me.
I feel like you'd have pretty thick skin after all
No,
the shit
man.
you've been through.
Let me ask you.
No,
Let me
no,
ask you.
all
As you get older, do you cry
super-
more? Because as I get older, I'm more of a pussy.
Dude,
Like, in a way, I'm more
wept,
sensitive.
I wept the other day listening to. I brought up. It's funny the way our brains work. I pulled a Foo Fighters reference for our last little improv, which was probably Emmy Award winning. If you guys
think
are
so.
up for
So
consideration,
the
I
acoustic
think so.
version, I think.
I
right?
pulled it. Yeah, that made me cry. Walk. I'm going to say that again because there was kind of some sneezing or some kind of hay fever happening.
Sorry.
Let me say it again. Just 1 second. I was listening to Foo Fighters and that brought me to an emotional place. So I'm
Really?
like, yeah, I'll cry,
Just because of the
man.
memory or what?
It just the words, something in the lyrics of that song was just like it hit me in the right place.
Ooh, yeah.
What are we looking at?
Song.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
If we play it, we'll just have to edit it out.
If we play,
Yeah.
no,
Guess
we
I'll
played.
play
I'm gonna probably. I'm gonna. Well, this version rocks, but like whatever they did for the unplugged version was really
Really?
emotional. Yeah,
Good, man.
yeah. I mean, imagine this is the song that you listen to. Ready, keep going. There's a line in it, and I'll tell you why it fucking speaks to me, you motherfuckers. Keep going. It's a long song. Scroll, goddammit.
That's it.
Scroll.
Okay,
Learning to
wait.
walk again.
Yeah,
My
ready.
hands
It's the ready. Oh no, go back up
never
again.
wanna die?
No, keep
Use
going.
my
Ready.
hands.
Look at this line. Ready. He goes, pay no mind. See to keep alive a moment at a time. That's still inside. A whisper to a riot. The sacrifice. The knowing to survive. The first decline. Another state of mind. That's like that. Goosebumps right
Yeah,
there.
man.
Because like
That's-
we're all gonna hit that moment where you think you're fucking cruising. And you
Boom.
might plummet.
100%.
And for him to put that in a song, knowing like, man, no career, nobody is gonna get out unscathed.
No one.
And Grohl knows it.
No one.
That first decline, another state of mind.
I
Dude,
feel
your
like the
voice
Foo
is
Fighters
strong.
haven't declined though.
Wow. No, they've had moments though.
They crushed.
I feel
They've
like
had-
you're stronger.
They're
I
growing.
literally, when I met you, you were one. I feel like you're literally stronger than you've ever been physically. You're just a big. You went from being built like me, and now you're just a big, strong guy with a loud voice.
You know what it is?
Your barrel chest.
You know what I was missing?
What?
I was missing that fucking the real innocence inside of me that I'd buried for so long. That little kid who was such a wallflower and didn't have the ability to say, "Hey, everybody, can I be included? Can I be invited to the
Did
playground?"
your therapist tell you that?
All that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
that'd
Therapy
make
was
me-
the greatest.
That'll make me
Oh,
cry. When therapist goes, talk to 8-year-old Brendan.
No, my therapist
That'll
one day
make me
said,
cry.
"What are your boundaries?" And that's that moment. I said,
What are your boundaries?
I said, "I don't." What do you mean, like
in the bedroom?
You're not allowed.
Because it gets pretty loose, girl.
Oh, everybody! Oh,
Hold on, there's a fucking truthquake happening.
wait a minute! Touching moments.
Boundaries, man. That was like a big. That was a game changer for me. Like, oh no, you know what happened? I was such a. I was such a. Can I have my own thoughts?
Yeah, sorry.
Can I find it myself?
Hey, how about not filling
I'm trying to
things
fill
in?
it in. Because we're going to have to edit his Tom Cruise story out because it's 7 hours. So I'm just trying to.
Break his arm.
Jesus, you're fucking way stronger than I thought. Good. Bone.
No, it's just like I comedy, changed my life and suddenly turned me into I had a spectacle moment, but I still was kind of running away from the idea of like, I was this introvert kid with a lot of social anxiety and I was not the class clown. I was not cool. And then I was suddenly cool in the center of everything, which was fine when I was on stage, but I still didn't know how to really manage all that in real life. And nobody could help me because I was the first to even make it to be successful. So it wasn't even like Burr was ahead of me to go, dude, I'm going to walk you in. I got it. So there was a lot of time where I was like, I let everybody in because I thought like, that's love now. Everybody likes me because they know me. And so everybody got access. And then after several years, I realized, man, I'm the loneliest and saddest I've been because I didn't know the boundaries to like keep certain people at distance and really mindfulness and all. I didn't have any of that shit. So the last 10 years of my life, I've been the happiest and the healthiest because I finally have all my, priorities in order.
And now
That
that's why you bully people like me, where you just pick me up and turn me upside down.
So
I wish
shouldn't take
somebody had that on film. Did you guys
very
get
good.
that? You doing your job?
I mean, I'm
might
a
be a-
feather.
there might be a
I got
ring
bird
camera.
bones. I felt like I had bird bones.
Look at the split that's happening right here in real time. God, how are those jeans even staying tethered in the middle?
The kid is
He
thick.
painted
The
them.
kid
He
is
painted
thick.
them on.
Just fucking rips apart.
With that fucking mane. That
He's
mane.
got just like one of those green screen outfits only on his cock and balls in case it gets revealed and you have to quickly hide it as a cucumber emoji.
All right, Jen, hit it.
All right.
What are you doing? What do we got?
Current events. So this is a quick thing. I guess there's an app called Podcast.
I'm going to actually let you guys do this. I'm going to bolt. I'm not really interested in this part.
Damn it, Dane. Damn it.
James, this is where I leave.
I thought it was
No,
really
it would have been better if you just disappeared up through the ceiling. You had that kind of money. Just like, how the fuck did he rig himself up?
No, what if he's all? Is that
Brian, you
that's
say
my
that,
chopper.
and what do I
My
do?
chopper's
What's my
here.
instinct? Can I? And let me keep that on
You looked
layaway
up. You
because I was like, all right, if I jumped here and grabbed onto it, maybe I could.
You looked up. You were like, oh, wait.
I always have to fight. It's we use everything.
That's what I love about Hollywood. If it was a crew member on a film set, they'd go, give me about 15 minutes.
And pull it all out.
Yeah.
All right, you got those and action. Action. Read.
All right, action. So this
No,
is
you're not on action. First action is background.
Okay.
You're on the second action. Action, background, action.
So this is a podcast app. I don't know. It says podcast.ai. It's an AI app, and apparently they took Joe Rogan's voice and Steve Jobs' voice and made them do an interview, and it's all like created by AI. So here's a short sample of
I
it.
feel like we're going down a dangerous road.
Hello, freak bitches. Welcome to another episode of the Bro Jogan Experience.
The Bro Jogan.
And on this episode, I welcome my friend who's difficult to describe.
This is not Joe.
No,
Nope.
not at all. Neither one of them.
It's great to be on the show. Your audience is just so different from your normal Apple users, and that's a good thing. It's cool.
They're both talking like they just recuperated from a stroke
Yeah.
rather recently.
Macintosh since the 1980s.
Yeah, it's not polished, but it's kind of crazy. You can imagine what.
Well,
they can
if
do
you
in the
did a phony
future.
phone call as either of those, then
Yeah,
you're going to have somebody on the line going, Joe, I love you.
An hour of that would be a little much.
So there is a longer version, but
wow.
I
don't want it longer.
No, it's
Yeah.
super long. So
Well, what are they talking about? Are they actually talking about things of substance?
no,
No,
they're
because
just
in order to do it, there has to be stuff they've used in the past.
Oh,
that
got
it,
they're
got
using their vernacular. So
they put it all together?
They put it all together.
Oh, that's
whoever's doing it's fucking.
That's like Black Mirror shit.
They manipulated too, like bro joke. He never said bro joke and ever. They put those in together. So
Yeah.
it's just you can tell what's going to happen in the future. It can be
Scary.
like polished and incredible. Yeah,
a lot of people are gonna get canceled or
and with the what do you call it?
the face recognition.
Yeah, yeah. No, the face swap or
deep fake.
deep
Deep
fakes.
fakes.
That
Yeah.
including this could be crazy.
Well, didn't Bruce Willis just like sell his likeness and voice so
Did
that
he?
they can continue? Yeah.
People, celebrities selling their likeness. Because that Tom Cruise one's huge.
Oh yeah, it's nuts.
The guy
That
does Tom
one's
Cruise
unbelievable.
nuts.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah,
that
he's-
guy's
he was on-
amazing.
he was on
And
American
he gets
Got
that whole thing that Cruise does and the reiterating.
They on America Got Talent. They did that, but they did it for Elvis. So there's a guy who kind of looks like Elvis, not really, and he's playing. He can sing and dance, but then you look at the screen and it's Elvis, like in real time. It's nuts, nuts.
That's pretty cool though, and scary.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
I don't know
The
what
dark
to say
side,
about
that's terrifying.
No.
What else you got, Jim?
This is a quick video. I don't know how old this is, but this is some kids rollerblading under a 18-wheeler.
Oh, kids are nuts.
Kids
are so nuts.
This has to be like somewhere overseas.
Yeah, not here. But look at this. Look, okay, this guy goes here.
No, young man,
Yeah,
please don't do that.
Yeah, don't show
Young
me something
man,
I'm not
young
ready
man,
for.
Please don't do that.
Wait. Yeah, are you setting us up for something that's really
Nah, everyone's good.
You know how
Everybody's good?
fast?
But I mean, just doing that.
Yeah, my resting heart rate just
out.
jumped up to 67.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. God, these kids are nuts.
That just
Yeah,
made
that's crazy.
my dominant
Young
testicle
boys, young
real
boys.
tight.
Young boys.
Yeah, my
fucking
right
nutty.
one's bigger. I had it undescended until I was 4, so the left one's like kind of like really adorable, but my right ball just got really tight.
You can't see what's
so
under
freaky,
you.
right?
For the gram.
If you hit a fucking tire.
Oh, who knows? I mean, that's a terrible
Yeah,
idea.
that's where you go. You'll find those videos on Live Leak.
Yeah,
You guys know about
but then
Live Leak?
that's like when bad things
gets
happen,
fun.
right? They show.
Yeah,
that
Live
stuff.
Leak is like somebody in a country you've never heard of, and they're like they're just doing like headstands on abandoned buildings, and then the concrete just breaks, and
I
their
watched one the
friend
other
yells in that language about
No!
God damn it! There was a guy whose chute didn't open, and they were base jumping, and it's in Russia, and he landed in snow. The snow was so deep, he was fine. You ever seen that? No. And his brother's
survived.
Wait, the base jumping.
No,
it
it's
didn't-
not even in Russia. His brother is saying a prayer over his brother's what he thinks is dead body.
Crawls out of snow.
Yeah, he fucking fell through the snow. The snow is 18 feet deep.
Did he come out adorable like a Saint Bernard in one of those
Sure
movies?
did.
And then
was
he just shakes out like
You can
Oh,
actually
it's
see
cold
it.
down there.
Yeah. Oh, it's in Russia. Oh, yeah, it's in Russia. And he's like, "You're my brother. This is the nuttiest shit in the world."
There's one.
Oh, there's
Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
I'm
Goodbye.
afraid to put audio. in
Oh,
that.
so it
That's
doesn't
not it.
open.
That's not
Oh,
it. That's not it.
this isn't.
He's
it.
going in the snow though.
Oh, he survived though.
Goes wrong in Russia.
He might have died.
No, there's one.
That's the
where
girl
it didn't
talking
open.
live. This happened.
One where it
now.
didn't open.
Miraculously, however, the
No, this didn't
I
open
like
though.
miraculously, however. That's my favorite part.
after snow managed to cushion his fall.
Yeah,
Oh, he definitely.
unless it's happened multiple times.
It has.
Wow.
Anyway.
Well, let's not. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
Hey,
we don't go
you
down that
click
road.
one and then you never
I know, I don't
unsee
wanna
it.
see
You're in
that
a
one.
rabbit hole.
I know, dude.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say that. I saw something once and I won't say it.
Oh, please
Yeah.
do.
No.
Come on.
I'm dark. Please do.
Dude, it
Like
was
Faces of
it
Death
was
shit?
like but like real hardcore, like where you're like, how did this even get on the internet, man? This is it was just crazy.
We have a hint?
It was
What was
hint?
it?
it was a beheading.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, I watched the Daniel Pearl
Yeah,
one.
and not an instant one.
Oh my god.
I think I've seen it. They have the dull knives. I've seen it.
We're going in that
I've
direction.
seen it.
Yeah.
When I was 16, I
can't- I
saw it.
can't
And I
watch
was,
that.
I
couldn't
can't-
eat for
now
2
I'm
days.
seeing it.
I couldn't eat for 2 days because you hear the guy going,
Yeah.
Look at
and it
Joe
was like
List.
a butter knife. It's
Can
like
we play any game? Like, can we just play a game right now and just
Zip Zab's on.
I'm just
play
laughing.
fun
I'm,
words?
I'm laughing at Joe List
we gotta
comedy
get out
here.
of this dark.
After this, after
Quick,
this,
tell us the Tom Cruise.
Lively.
part.
there's this Cougar video, and then
Quick,
Joe List
tell
goes, "Yeah, get us out of this." Another. Well, Tom was. I've had to do this with some Cougars after a show. Know what I mean, guys? I fucking love it.
Oh, Joe List.
I love that shit.
What is this one?
Joe List is a
Fucking
monster.
This is
Joe
Rogan's.
List?
This is
Yeah.
Rogan's.
Yeah,
page.
there's Joe Rogan's Instagram, and he's just reposting this video of this guy with a gun and a cougar basically trying to attack the guy, and the guy just doesn't shoot. I didn't watch the entire video, so I'll just play it for you guys
I
right
didn't
now.
watch. I did.
What is it? Like a mountain lion?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Mountain Lion.
Why does this guy shoot up in the air?
that's a
One
good point
bullet
too.
in the chamber?
That's a good point too.
At least he's speaking English to it.
I say you run toward it.
Why would you say get back? Like he knows what the fuck you're talking
Why
about.
not? I'd be shooting at the ground right here.
Yeah, I'm not
shooting.
going for him to pounce.
And he's still staying there.
Oh, this is a whole different thing happening now.
Did he hit it?
No,
Put the phone down. To Rogan's phone.
I wish
would
Foo
put the
Fighters
phone down.
Walk started playing right now.
No, he knew it would go viral. This is awesome.
Wow.
That cat's not afraid.
he's
of
not
that
afraid at all.
noise.
Wow.
He or she.
Yeah, because he's got him backing up.
The cat's like, all right.
It's kind of crazy that
Wow.
that cat is barely
Fearless.
interested in that gun.
That loudness and everything, it doesn't matter.
He's never
right?
seen it. He
Doesn't
don't
care.
Guy's got some good lungs though.
He does. He was
Big
breathing
some
heavy.
breath.
Real strong breaths right there.
A lot of oxygen.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like when
Heart rate was
your doctor's like a few more, and you're like, I don't know if I have one more stethoscope
I'm
round to go
lightheaded.
with you
Yeah.
here. Man. I'm getting a little lightheaded there.
Lightheaded, bud.
All right, Governor, I got one more. That's it. I kind of want you to hear something so we can just move away from the breathing and into the how do I fix myself?
I'll fucking deal with a cougar over a grizzly bear any day. So, fuck.
All right, we got some more here.
Oh,
Fun. So,
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
question: would you do this?
oop. Hey, it's a hammerhead.
He's putting him in tonic.
And all I have is those cartons that people did the carton challenge on.
Dude, that's how
What
you
is
get.
that?
That's
So
how you get.
sharks
all,
attacking.
all you,
milk carton
all I
shark
use the carton challenge.
That's how you lose your.
Shark challenge with cartons.
That's how you lose your arm. That's how you lose your arm.
Hell no, I wouldn't do this.
Like, do you guys do you ever watch this and just go like, this looks like a shark having fun? Like, I see the fun in that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't see a vicious
No, me neither.
moment there.
It's like a big dog. It's like a big dog.
Yeah.
It's like a big water dog. Yeah.
Sharp
It's a dog
teeth.
with fins.
Right?
The 100 teeth.
Yeah. With a mouth big enough to.
I also look at this, I go, how bored are these fucking guys?
Well, it's pretty.
We're like, hey, let's get some cartons down there, just fuck with the sharks. Okay.
Those are
You
tiger
just want to
sharks.
The
swim
fact
around
that he's
today?
holding it.
Those are tiger sharks, by the way. That's a tiger shark.
No, I'm not doing any of that. Yeah, that's insane.
You need to put that that doob a dooby dooby doo a dooby dooby dee dub doo, and it just makes it more whimsical. I bet those sharks when they swam away and whatever the way sharks think, it was like that was a fun time with those people.
He's trying to put them in tonic.
Brought the milk cartons down. They brought toys.
Yeah. Fuck
The
that.
milk cartons just for protection? That's stupid fucking. How bored are those people?
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Jamaica or the
Very
fuck that.
bored.
And what is this?
This is cool. This dolphin is doing this deliberately.
Okay,
Dane, dolphins are drawn to you.
I have a
So,
pretty interesting dolphin story actually.
oh, it's making little bubbles.
Oh, neat.
That he's amused by this, right? I was
Oh.
like, God damn, these things are smart.
Oh, this is so magical.
And at first I thought it was CGI, but it's not.
That is
We're
pretty
sure
cool.
it's not fake? Because they sure do look fake.
And they're practicing all day.
Yeah,
They
that's.
look pretty fake.
Hey, you guys don't know shit about dolphin.
Oh, he blew it out of his little blowhole
Yeah, yeah.
up on the top.
Bet you Tom Cruise can do that
Then
underwater.
he looks up and he's like,
Yeah.
it did it.
How bored?
got it.
How bored is this dolphin? This has to be in like SeaWorld or some shit.
Yeah.
This dolphin's hating his life.
That's a pool.
He's like, you know, I'm just gonna blow some fucking things.
Yep. You have a cool dolphin story?
St. Petersburg, Florida, 2004. Me and my buddy Al, we go out jet skiing. We see a pod of dolphins because it's a pod. It's not a herd or
Tom
a
Cruise is
gaggle.
riding one?
Tom Cruise comes in and he actually said, I just came from Callen's. Let me tell you an hour and 45-minute story that took place. It's the abridged. No. We jumped off the jet skis to swim with the dolphins in real time. The fucking guy who rented, he comes barreling out and he's screaming, get the fuck out of the water. And he explains to us, there's calves, there's baby dolphins, and then they'll kill you.
Yes, they will.
These mom because they
ram
don't.
you.
They're not
protecting the
fun.
babies.
It's not
No.
SeaWorld. We were trying to pat. We're swimming. We're like, dude, this is so real. We're doing
ram
this
you.
on Earth in the ocean. And this guy fucking screamed obscenities and pulled us out of
The dolphins will fuck people up.
If you're
Yeah.
around their babies,
Yeah.
and you're just
We're
a
trying to
couple of
swim with the
guys,
fucking whole thing.
Yeah,
and
you
try
thought
to-
it was like a Little Mermaid.
thought it-
couple of
yeah, we
misfit
did.
comics. It's like, fuck this.
You know when somebody yells at you so much too that like you know you deserved it, but you're still like, I mean, like the amount of yelling, you know,
compounded.
I understood that we had to get out of the water, but like I felt really chastised by that. Was it a lot? It felt like a lot.
Pretty aggressive. Dude.
That's there's a limit.
Oh, I love football
What's
stuff. What do
this?
we got? Dan-dan-dan, dan-dan-dan.
Yeah.
You're a huge sports.
Who's your team?
Love it.
Patriots?
Love, yeah, Patriots.
They're both seeing the same thing in the courtroom.
What's these guys?
Rob, Your Honor. Your Honor. Yeah.
Oh, look, he's making
It's just them getting mocked.
he's making.
That's a flag on the play right there. That's a flag. That's unsportsmanlike.
This is so good.
That's unsportsmanlike
Let
and
me
it's
see-
mockery.
Let me see this again. That's
What is
so
happening?
funny.
Two things that I don't value.
What's these guys?
Rob, Your Honor. Your Honor. Yeah.
Just making fun.
Wow.
I like how they think the ref is listening to them.
Yeah.
His argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, he's a Panther.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
Wasn't it? What about Colby Covington?
Another
What's
one?
that saying? What's Colby Covington?
Scoop.
well you mainly watch football, Dane?
Yeah.
Sports-wise?
Yeah. I watch everything, but I like football the most.
Let's see this. What's this now?
Marcus
So,
Jason.
yeah.
How do you say it?
Oh, on
Sudeikis.
Sudeikis. What is that? What is Sudeikis?
That's a good question.
That is it's Greek, I think.
Sudeikis?
I'm going to say it's either Greek or it's like
guess.
Czech.
Do you think his nickname was
Lithuania.
Sudeikis
Yeah, they're
to his
Lithuanian.
buds?
As I said,
Sued?
Lithuanian.
Sued?
Sudi.
Hey, Sud.
Lithuanian? Is that what I saw up
guess
there?
It says Georgia, Lithuania.
Ah.
He seems like a good guy, Sudeikis.
He does.
She's like a good guy.
So-
She's
Make
a
you like him more.
narcissist.
Yeah.
I've heard from people that know.
Yeah.
People in the know say that
Yes. She's just a fucking narcissist.
She's really pretty.
She's stupid pretty.
She could shit in my bed, Johnny Depp style. I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
What
So I
else
guess
you got?
she left the Apple Watch behind, and he catches her texting with Harry Styles during the filming of that movie.
Yeah.
So that's how he
Oh,
found
that's how I found out.
Yeah.
Yep. Call that a meant to be moment.
That's gotta suck, man.
Yeah, that hurts. Especially since trying to read all of that on an Apple Watch. Right?
They're tiny.
Damn,
Keep going.
Jason was crying.
Crying.
Look at that, crying a lot. Crying.
Unless they have the Ultra, which I'm rocking.
Yes.
Which far more screen space, higher resolution, deeper, richer colors. The blacks are like black.
Yeah, you don't need your phone. Do you
The
not
nanny,
need
the nanny goes, I
He
came
threw
back.
himself under her car. What?
The nanny says, when I came back from a weekend off, Jason was crying a lot. Crying. I didn't know what
That's
happened.
so
at
sad.
all.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Crying a lot. Oof. Yeah. And she should have said, and I was proud of him. Because it's amazing when you could see a man of his stature let it all go.
Not for that long, but yeah, I hear you.
Wow.
What else you got, Ken?
Crying and crying.
Broke things off.
He was crying and crying.
Which one?
The Rex Ryan one. Okay. So I guess this guy, right after this guy, Dwayne Haskins, died, he felt the need to comment like, I knew he wasn't going to do well in the NFL. And Stephen A. Thompson's like, hey, buddy.
boy.
Like,
Boy.
just...
Foot and mouth disease, huh?
Yeah.
Hey now.
I'm going to say this.
If you know anything about Rex's foot fetishes, that joke actually lands.
I didn't.
And I said Baker Mayfield is overrated as hell. Do you guys want to remember I said that? And I also said Daniel Jones would be the second quarterback drafted when he came out ahead of this guy, this Haskins, that everybody raved
Why'd he
about.
quote
and
Haskins?
I knew would struggle in the National Football League. The reason I'm basing, I know it, and I shouldn't have said it. But
Hold on, pause that. He's talking about football skills, black and white. He's not talking about his personal life. So yeah, Dwayne Haskins passed away and had some issues. He was saying Dwayne Haskins was picked ahead of these other football players, and Dwayne Haskins coming into the league had a lot of baggage. He was like, everyone's high and mighty on Dwayne Haskins. He's talking about just football. He shouldn't have to apologize for that. Dwayne Haskins really struggled in the NFL.
He was the guy.
Playing wise.
He was the guy who got hit by the truck.
Yes, playing wise. He's not talking about Dwayne Haskins' abilities to,
I think
outside.
was the issue that the timing of it, though? Was he talking about this right around the same time that he was, or is this
No, this is like-
it's not a too soon thing, right? It's
October
like,
17th, so just today.
Yeah.
oh,
He's just talking.
So he's just breaking down football.
Okay.
If it happened like the day after, like even
Right.
then, if you're talking about just straight football ability
Right.
at quarterback, that's all he was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, "Look, I called this."
yeah, no, the
He
statute of
was right on
limitations
Dwayne
was fine on
Haskins.
this at
Yeah,
this point.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it as well.
Not too soon.
There's no too soon anymore. You ever get on Twitter and just see like an hour after something happens and you're like, who's coming down on comedians when the whole fucking
Yes.
squad is in here?
Unbelievable.
Like
Yeah. Unbelievable.
the Red Keep
Just
after
Lane Maxwell
dark.
and Bill Clinton.
Yeah, we can look at that one after. So I guess Phil Knight's putting a lot of money into this Oregon governor race to keep the Republican. We've talked about this a little bit, how, people aren't super happy with the way Oregon is shaping up with.
Yeah, and Phil Knight's donating to the Republican Party because he wants Oregon to turn red, right?
Well, you just don't
Wait.
want this insane, like far left insanity that's destroying cities like San Francisco, Seattle, and Portland. Give me a break.
If we could just scroll to the right because I'm
Oh, wait, he
seeing that.
donated to the Democrat Oregon.
Yeah, I
Governor
wanted to
Kate
see that
Brown not
top
be able to
part.
run because of term
Heroin,
limits.
We're going to
Knight-
get you those casual boots.
Phil Knight donated $1 million Phil Knight donated $1 million to Republican candidate.
From
He's also given $3.7 million to independent candidates.
It's a great heel.
He's saying, "I'll take anything but the Democrat. What the
Yeah.
Blues done to Oregon is horrible."
Yeah, exactly. I'm still stuck on the Spanish boot there.
I was actually
Spanish
looking at
dance
those, and they're popping up.
That's
like
why
crazy.
Chin's looking for new boots.
I was looking for some
dance
Chelseas.
boots.
The internet's
You're definitely
listening.
looking for Spanish dance boots, Chin.
Some
and
Chelseas,
I appreciate
yeah.
that.
Is that it, Chin?
You
Hold
good?
on.
You want to do that?
Let me see what's going on here.
Okay, go for it.
dishes on dear friend Prince Andrew special.
But I have a question about Ghislaine Maxwell for all you conspiracy-minded people. She was convicted for sex trafficking, but to who? Was it just Jeffrey Epstein? Like, where are the people she was?
Yeah, just that's what they're
to?
saying. Just Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay.
He was the mastermind behind it.
But did any other names come up who happen to have been in that
oh yeah,
house? that were having sex with these
time.
girls.
Big
So
time.
how come I haven't heard about them? Prince Andrew, yeah. But what about the other people?
Do you think it just gets buried because there's way too many?
How do you bury
They
it?
said in the black book some of them are current
Affiliations.
politicians.
Yeah.
So
So I don't
they
know.
you
Yeah,
know.
that's what's interesting.
Yeah, she said it was a special friendship which continued over the years. Maxwell said of her close ties with Clinton, we had lots in common. I feel bad that he's
We had
another
lots in
victim."
common. Bill Clinton's like, not helping my cause.
And she said, I feel bad that he's another victim only because of his association with Jeffrey.
Well, yeah, because he flew to the island something like 40 times. We
Yeah.
have some question.
Bill Clinton, consummate victim.
That's her.
That's it.
That's her now, yeah.
Man, I it'll still remain a mystery why she didn't go to a country that couldn't extradite her. But she was just sitting in that
don't know if
place
it's that
in New
easy.
Hampshire. I don't know.
Especially when they
Strange.
came down on them. They're going to
Yeah.
wrap you pretty tight.
All right, I think
Interesting.
that's pretty
Yep,
much
that's
it.
it?
Yeah. You're not on tour then, right, Dane? On your
Am I what?
website? On tour?
On tour?
Shows?
No.
Okay.
But go,
Dane Cook.
go get the
2023,
special right now,
yes.
DaneCook.com
Above it all.
Yeah. Wait, when does this go live?
today.
Oh, okay. So it's on Moment until Thursday, and then it'll switch over to DaneCook.com.
Awesome.
Love it.
So you can get it on Moment, all the merch, all the cool stuff to go along with it, and then I'm going to pull all that stuff up off there, and it'll just be the special on my.
If you want to watch it right now, go to moment.co/DaneCook.
right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Go watch it above it all.
man.
Filmed on the porch
good
of
to
his
see you,
house.
buddy.
I know. I'm
Great to
excited.
see you.
We love
Thanks,
you, man.
dude. Thanks for having me.
You always
Yeah.
you always have a standing invite. We've been trying to get you on.
I
this
appreciate it.
podcast.
I watch it, so now I'm like, oh, I'm in the thing where I've finally seen everybody else sitting having
Fuck
some
yeah,
fun.
dude.
It's smaller than you thought, huh? It's almost.
Or-
Once I came into the room,
there you go.
I fill it out, bud.
Speaking of filling-
And he fucking rigged it that fast. He rigged it that fast.
Speaking of filling out, Salt Lake City, come on out this Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
shit.
We'll have a fight companion as well, live in Salt Lake City. That's at noon Mountain Time, live on Thiccc Boy YouTube. Fight companion with Frank Mir and myself, some other guests. But Salt Lake City Wise Guys this Thursday through Saturday. The next week, Thursday show at the Rooftop in Calgary is damn near sold out. So we add a show on Friday. There will be a fight command on Saturday for Jake Paul, Anderson Silva. San Antonio is November 3rd through the 5th. Houston, November 10th through the 12th. Get your tickets at thiccboy.com.
Come see me at the Schaumburg Improv, Chicago Improv, Schaumburg, Illinois. Dane Cook is opening for me October 27, 28, 29. Then I got Charlotte, North Carolina Comedy Zone, November 10, 11, 12. Addison, Texas, Addison Improv, November 17, 19. Finally, Naples Off the Hook, December 1 through 4. Daddy doesn't stop. Won't stop, can't stop.
Won't
Why
stop.
would you?
Laugh Boston, your hometown.
I
Dane.
love it, man. I see
December
that up there, and I'm
29
like,
to the
yeah,
31st.
baby.
Yeah.
Dane, we love you. Go watch
Thanks,
your
guys.
special.
You're the
All right.
best.
The best.
What a
Thanks,
fucking-
fellas.
That was a great podcast.
Yoo-hoo.